Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting nifty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon, 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, everyone, welcome to Pub Sports Radio. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. We do this let me turn on a fucking light here. We do this every Tuesday. We have a lot of fun. Jimmy the Bag for this show. I have some pretty serious good news, some pretty serious bad news. Which do you want first?
Oh, the bad news, baby.
The bad news, I'm always fully prepared for sides and totals every game. Today's show, there's a bunch of games, NBA and NHL, for as far as sides and totals are concerned, that I just have nothing to say on and just not prepared.
That's no worries. That will be my wheelhouse this morning.
Okay.
So I'm on a run in NHL that I don't want to talk about. Although I don't really believe in that stuff, but if you're having a tough season, then I don't want to talk about the run I'm on. And then in NBA, actually, NHL.
Sorry, Jim, I just wanted to say, I love how you're like, I don't even want to hear the good news because I'm sure it's not good. No, it is good. It is good, Jimmy. Don't you want to hear the good news? Look how gambling has affected you. Do you want to hear the good news? Which do you want to hear first? You're like, I'd like to hear the bad news first, and the good news, don't even want to hear it. Don't even want to hear it. You're like, at this point, if there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that good news doesn't exist.
You're right.
You're like, I know when people tell you it's good news, it might be slightly good news for them in some way. It's not good. I don't even want to hear it. No, there is good news, Jimmy.
Well, I was in a dark place that I've come out.
Okay, I am sorry to hear that.
It was all sports capping, not life.
No. My news is all sports capping. I don't have it. No.
Okay. Hit us up. What is the
reason that I am not fully prepared for about half the NHL and NBA games is because I've been pricing the hell out of player props, which I've been doing much better with in terms of my individual betting and capping. So for NHL, I'll have probably at least 3 or 4 player props every game. A few of them that I'm really liking a lot. And if it continues to be profitable, then that's what I'll focus on. If it's not, then I'll go back to something else. But the good news is that the reason I'm not prepared is not because I haven't putting in the time. It's because I've been putting in the time to other things, player props. Pricing it out using a Poisson calculator. Jimmy the Bag. Yes, we do Poisson calculations here in Loshak land. And so that's pretty good news, right, Jimmy the Bag?
That is very interesting news, very intriguing news. Our winning streak, this now is our 4th show reunited, and we are coming off our first losing show, and it's disappointing. Now, we have been beating up college basketball here on Tuesdays, but, I think last Tuesday was the low point when the Canucks lost to the Penguins. In a game which I thought they, just some bad bounces were the reason why that went on. Now I continued to fade the Penguins nonstop with great success. But last week was our first poor performance. All of our stats here over the 3 weeks are in. Every single record from anybody who's been on my shows this year is updated. I spent all day, all night, not all night because last night I got to start capping at some point, but I spent a long time on it yesterday. So we're all updating, ready to rock. And rock we will, Peter Loshak. Rock we will. We have 9 NHL games. Then we have 19 college basketball games that are ranked teams and conference tournament games. You'll also hear from Pete with some additions. Then 9 NBA games. Great to see the chat firing away right now. And I was in a pretty big hole. I've had a pretty big 5 days or so. I'm keeping things real clean. There were spots that I would have been attacking that I'm staying off of. I've got 3 bets in NHL. keeping it clean, keeping it my quantity of action a little smaller. And we'll go over all of this as we hammer through the cards. Shout out to all you guys joining us. Sammy Comer, big week of tennis ahead in Indian Wells, leaning Devils and Blue Jackets first period so far. Look, my plan yesterday, and I was sat for hours thinking about it, was to be on the Toronto Maple Leafs, the St. Louis Blues, the Columbus Blue Jackets. I felt like I had to cut the Leafs and the Jackets because the Bruins and the Knights were coming off getting destroyed. That is, I could have stuck with the Blue Jackets, but that's okay. Got the Blues home, and there are spots that I would like to attack here, but I'm just trying to tighten everything up. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play today is now 7-1. Pig
Very nice.
Milk play of the day, 7-1. It's South Florida minus 7.5. I'm going to start copying, pasting all of the plays of the day here so we have them ready in our chat, because Billy Friedrich, the Pig Milk play of the day is also the Smooth Balls play of the day. So can you give a shout out to some cappers in the chat? There is Nordy, my guy Nordy in the house, using his wife Rebecca Evans' handle here. Nordy, we love you, man. Great to see you. Some health issues within the family and some big meetings with doctors this week for Nordy. So, and it's not Nordy. It's not him. He has to lead the family through this. So if we could all just take a second, give Nordy some positive, as much positive energy, as much light, however you do it. If you pray, whatever you do to put positive energy out in the world, can we please send it to my friend Nordy? He's in Edmonton, and he could use all of the positive thoughts. So I'd like to give you a shout out, Nordy, my guy. But Pete, could you give a couple shout outs while I'm copying and pasting quickly, and then we'll get right into it.
Oh, hell yeah. So once again, this is going to be a little bit different from me today. A whole bunch of player props and probably not too much opinion one way or the other on sides and totals. That's for NHL. And then for NBA and college basketball, I have a bunch of bets, and NBA is going to be good. But we got everyone in the comment section. It's so great to be here. Oh, Nuke Worker. Yeah, sending prayers, Nordy. Hell yeah, sending prayers, Nordy. Nuke Worker, retired. Great to see you every time. Troy Torrance. Fucking love seeing your opinions and shit every day on Twitter. Love it, Troy Torrance. Can't wait to meet you in person if you're gonna be there. Leonard Porsche Jr. says, "What kind of calculator is it?" Leonard, that's a Poisson calculator. Other people are like, "Oh, I have addition calculator and subtraction and multiplication calculator." No, I use Poisson calculator. Leonard Porsche Jr. for these player props. It's French, okay? French from France. So it's an upper class kind of distribution there. Shout out to Leonard Porsche Jr., Rebecca Evans, everyone. Hell yeah. Viper NB, Joey Harb, Kent Davies, Razor Sharp picks, very nasty Nate, Julian Cesario. Oh man, it's gonna be so much fun in San Antonio. There's so much shit going on. Sammy Comer, I check you every day on Twitter as well. Love to see your opinion. Sometimes I want to DM you for a personal opinion on some tennis match, but I don't want to, overstep my bounds or exploit my personal relationship with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, is this social capital I should expend right now? I'm usually like, nah. I won't ask him what he thinks about Casper Rudd at minus 150 tonight. But love looking at what you have to talk about. Sammy Comer, Billy Friedrich, thanks so much for all the points you've saved me over the years with losing bets, losing a 0.2 of a unit less than I normally would if I were just glancing at without line shopping. It's going to be a good show today. Paco Healy, once again, I do kind of trust my player prop pricings for now. For example, Jack Hughes, NHL, the lines are just too low. Owen Tippett last night, shot props just too low. We've been seeing this with Nathan McKinnon, shot props just too low, even though they're 5.5. So at some point, these markets are probably going to be dead tight. And of course, the juice is massive. So you got to be careful. But I switched over to giving player props, in these videos because I just trust it a little bit more. Of course, next week I'm going to be more prepared for my preparation, Jimmy the Bag. And also, I got fucked by how many? 50 college basketball games? And give me a fucking break, okay? You know what I'm saying? If there was only 25 college basketball games, I would have been fully prepared and with the player props. But you got conference tournaments and everything. I think we cappers get a little bit of a break in early March. You know what I mean, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on us right now, but we love it. We love the pressure, so let's just eat it up. Shout out to JPZ, got Pubapalooza news. After the poker tournament Friday night, there will be a live performance of PSR intros and the new Low Bagger anthem.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we'll have to record that. Multiple.
Better hope I don't get like ODB and just bum rush the stage and grab the mic and start freestyling myself.
We'd like that.
This is for the children.
If you could do that right at the end of the song.
Children.
We'd like that right at the very end of the song. You can do that at the very last of the song.
Remember when ODB bum rushed the Grammys? Remember that, Jimmy the Bag?
Oh man, yeah, man. I shout out to ODB. We all miss the man. We all miss the man. Kong's Clips,
the best that ever did.
Kong's Clips lost a really good friend. Wow, that's a horrible, sad story. Changing a water pump in a car gas line. Exploded and burnt him, leaving 5 kids. Absolutely. Not only you can put the link here, send it to Jose to pop it here on the chat, but send it to me as well personally, and I will make sure that we can get that out there and we can get that.
And one quick shout out, can I, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, but let me just also say, man, that's just a horrible news song, and
it is.
Man, I'm sorry, really sorry to hear that, and let us know what we can do at Pub to help. But yes, take it away, my man.
Absolutely. No, you got to be appreciative of life and everything. My shout out goes to Troy Hermo. I know he's not watching this right now, but he's a guy who is, player props guy dealing with end stage cancer and updating everyone on Twitter about it. And I've come to know him. I sent him a few messages. An unbelievable, inspiring guy. I mean, in so many ways. That's why I started doing player props closely. And then I was like, actually, I should focus on this a little bit more. So wherever you are right now, Troy Hermo, shout out to you. A lot of people are supporting you. But shouting out to everyone. And ultimately, the inspiration is to try as best as you can to love and appreciate the life that you have in the moment, even though, as we all know, that's very difficult. And it's much, much easier to be angry and annoyed and pissed off and spread hate. And it's fine. But just try to keep that in your mind. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's enjoy the moment and enjoy this opportunity that we have right now to cap the card. Yes, Kong's Clip. Yeah, email it to Pub and also hit me on a DM on Twitter. Let's get right to work. Pistol Pete Loshak. We head into NHL. And
okay,
let me just say that the run that I've been on the last few days has been crucial, and it's going to continue. Why don't you set us up, Pete? Let's roll.
Okay, I definitely do not guarantee anything on my player props, but I definitely guarantee that I'm betting them and that I believe in them for now. Florida, New Jersey, right? That's the first game, Jimmy the Bag?
It is, my friend.
All right, so as far as the side and total are concerned, let me just quickly glance. I mean, I guess obviously my first thought would be lean under, and Florida has been an absolute juggernaut, so it's hard to bet against them. And New Jersey, I'm not sure what to make of them. Coming off of the, they with Jack Hughes back, they should be better, I guess. Now they're back home after getting blown out at LA. We can talk about what you think of my props, but I'll tell you right now, I did hit Jack Hughes over 4.5 shots on goal. We've seen Owen Tippett. We saw it last night. McKinnon, we've seen it. Some of these shot props with the star players, high shot props are still just too low. And I hit Jack Hughes over 4.5. Shots on goal. I also like Hischier over 3.5 shots at plus money. Hit a bunch of others. I hit Tyler Toffoli under 3.5 at a big favorite line. And I hit a little bit on Jesper Bratt under 2.5 at plus line. And I hit Brandon Montour point and Barkov under 2.5 at about minus 115 or so. We can make some of those official. So those are the bets I made on this game. As far as the actual side and total are concerned, when is New Jersey going to bounce back? When is Florida going to start losing? At some point they will. But so far, Florida has just been awesome and under-trending.
I mean, the big story is Lindy Ruff getting the heave, being fired yesterday. So, we trust the bounce back, right? We almost always just unconditionally trust the bounce back.
Even when you're playing against a team like Florida.
It's not that for me. It's not that. It's to me, it's Travis Green. I had to endure him coaching the Canucks and Utica before that, the minor league team, and just get ready for he's such a solemn guy. He's just I liked him as a hockey player. But man, as a coach, Boudreau was such a breath of fresh air after dealing with Travis Green just solemnly walking into these press conferences, talking quietly, not a smile, no kind of care, nothing, no joy at all with his job. And so when you have a new coach, you want that boost of enthusiasm. You are not going to get that from Travis Green. And I feel bad for Devils fans. I feel bad for Devils fans for a lot of reasons. You signed Timo Meier to this ludicrous 8-year, $70.4 million contract that had a $35.2 million signing bonus. He's a minus 24. I mean, he's horrific. 28 points in 48 games. That's just slightly worse than Luke Hughes. Now, with the Hughes defenders, we had to do the same thing in Vancouver. You have to go through a bit of a they're smaller and they need to develop strength 5-on-5 and defensively. And Luke hasn't got there yet. He's got huge potential, but he's a minus 21. And then you have your star center, Jack Hughes, who's winning 37.2% of his faceoffs. So now you can't play center, Jack. That's what I would tell you if I was coaching you. I would say now you can't play center until you start winning faceoffs. You better practice that all offseason because it's a problem. When can you? It's a problem. You don't want to line them up on the wing but have them playing center because it just confuses spots. It always was a problem when I was playing hockey. If your center couldn't win faceoffs, so you started them on the wing, and then who was going to, especially defensively, you just get in a mess. So, do I want to fade Florida here and back this new coach Bounce? And please while I'm talking here, Pete, get prepared for which ones you want to make official here for the player prop market.
And you know what we can do with the props? I'll read them out, but you don't have to spend time writing them down. I'll read them out and then I'll email them to you after the show. Okay, just so you don't have to write them all down.
Okay, that's all good. And then you can review them at the end. That works for me.
Yeah.
That works for me. So Dan Bonner says Panthers money line can't stay away. Devils are a mess. Not scared of Schmid. So it's Akira Schmid that looks like he will be in between the pipes, not Nico Dawes. All of the Devils goaltending has been terrible. And I bet you, if they had just taken on all of Markstrom's contract when they know they have the money for it, but if they had taken that, then Lindy Ruff would have his job. But, Tom Fitzgerald wants to sit on his high horse and fire the coach, one of the greatest coaches in NHL history. I don't want to say horrible things. I don't want to start the show, but Tom Fitzgerald now and Travis Green, good luck, Devils fans. Enjoy this. I think that you are in a real tough spot with these two fucking assholes running your ship. And Fitzgerald blaming Lindy Ruff for this. Lindy Ruff's already blaming himself. Why didn't you do something to get a goaltender for Lindy Ruff? You left this old man out to dry. Now he's fired because of Tom Fitzgerald's shortcomings. I hate when these general managers do such a shit job and then blame it on a Hall of Fame coach. Fitzgerald, you're an ass clown. You've made horrific decisions. You should be fired. And Travis Green, enjoy this, Devils fans. What a bunch of everything that the Devils have done with wasting these great years for Hughes, Jack, not Luke, Hughes in his year. It's just upsetting. So look, I don't have much to say about this, but I can't even as much as I want to fade the new coach Bounce. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to stay off of this spot. But quick touch on the line history here. Right now over at Pinnacle, the Devils are plus 107. They opened up right at plus 107. So there's really been no move there. And like Pete's talking about, these unders have been coming in for the Panthers. They're a very good hockey team. Thank God we have our futures on them at this point. And you cashed the under in a Florida Buffalo 6.5 under 6.5 last Tuesday. We worked together, Pete. And I was like, when I think of Buffalo and Florida playing each other, I never think of low scoring. But even Buffalo with Tage doing nothing has become that way. This under 6.5 opened up minus 104. It's now minus 108. I'm off of this spot. So that's it for me here.
Okay, I'm going to make 6 plays official, all current lines at Pinnacle, and once again, I will email everything to you. I'm going to take Jack Hughes over 4.5 shots, minus 116. Hischier over 3.5 shots, plus 123. Tyler Toffoli under 3.5 shots, minus 158. Alex Barkov under 2.5, minus 109. Jesper Bratt under 3.5, minus 173. That makes me nervous, but Bratt under 3.5, minus 173, and maybe my favorite. I don't know. My favorite is probably Hughes, but Brandon Montour point minus 129. Brandon Montour point minus 129. There you go. Official, all current lines of Pinnacle.
And Dan Bonner saying one thing he likes Stolarz is born and raised in Edison, New Jersey, 25 minutes south of Devils Stadium. Cuban Connect says we go into the Cup. Go Panthers. Razor Sharp Picks coming off just a monster run himself. Great work, Razor. And there's our guy, Nutflush Allen, who, as you guys know, when we've been talking about, is leading his family through a real tough time right now, and he's doing it, with such strength and dignity. And we love you, Nutflush. We love you, Mike. BT says I'll be at the Embassy Suites 4 miles from Southtown 101, a Bar Grill, March 22nd, 20. Do I need a ticket, or can I still swing by to meet the family? BT, you don't need anything, man. You just roll into Southtown 101 and you are home. We're in the back with all the TVs in the studio, so you'll know where to find us. You'll hear the screaming and yelling and celebrating that we'll be doing all together. Just come
follow the stupidity. Hear the stupidity and just gravitate towards it.
I like it. I like it. All right, let's roll on. So Pete hammering
idiocy is the better word.
Idiocy is not.
Go ahead, Jim.
Pete hammering the player prop market. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Jackets Penguins.
Okay, Columbus and Pittsburgh, and it is interesting that this game I actually have quite few props that I'm liking. Oh no, where the fuck did my Edmonton one's going? Did I not type them down? All right, sorry, I just saw the next game. This one I have a few props that I'm liking. The one I do like is Boone Jenner over 2.5 shots at 130 at minus 130 or so. Pittsburgh obviously a massive favorite, and I don't know. Columbus of course won 2 in a row. They're, I guess, still you would count them as not a good team, but they've won 3 of 5. I can name you a whole bunch of teams that have been worse over the past 10 games or so. So how is Pittsburgh this huge of a favorite? I guess you got to think that Columbus, and maybe do something crazy with the Columbus -1, even -1.5, maybe Columbus first period, maybe Columbus team total over or so. I might add something after I hear your breakdown of it, but obviously, first glance, way too high of a line for Pittsburgh, right?
Way too high. And I've been saying the Blue Jackets are a bet on team since they snapped that 9-game losing streak. When was that? In December? And we were on that when they snapped it. I've been saying it nonstop against the Blackhawks. I was like, this is perfect. I mean, and against Vegas, it would have been perfect if Vegas hadn't have lost 7-2 in horrific fashion of Buffalo. Vegas and Pittsburgh, they're these teams that you watch me fading with success, but I can't do it here. And it's not that I think Jet Greaves can't handle himself. It's just the Penguins are coming off such a disappointing road trip. That 4-3 loss at Calgary, up 3-1 with 8 minutes left in the game and losing in regulation. The 6-1 loss at Edmonton, we were all on that. I can't. I want to fade the Penguins and I want to back the Jackets, but I can't just do it nonstop. And look, it was a mistake not fading Vegas, but I don't want to fade teams after they were just embarrassed. I don't want to do that in any sport at any time, no matter how bad I want to fade them. So I'm off of this spot. In saying that, the Blue Jackets are bet on and the Penguins are a fade. Let me just touch on the line history before you decide what you're making official here. Mm-hmm. For the line history, we have the total at 6.5. It's minus 114 to the over. So a 5-cent move towards that over. And then from a money line standpoint here, we have this enormous line on Pittsburgh. They opened up at minus 230. They're now minus 239. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to stay off.
Okay. One play I will definitely make official is Boone Jenner over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 133. Again, that's the current line at Pinnacle. There's another bet that I did make, but I wasn't going to give it official until I saw Rocco Rogers mention it in the comment section, and that's Roslovic. And I did bet that one as well, over 1.5 shots at minus 200. I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable throwing that in there. I'd rather be getting, I guess, 2.5 at a more modest line. And I think Sid Crosby over 3.5 minus 109 has a little bit of value as well. I bet that one. Those are the 3 that I bet. I agree on Roslovic, but I don't know if I want to make it official. Boone Jenner over 2.5 minus 133. Definitely like that one a lot, and I will make that one official. I don't see how you can't take Columbus here, but you're right. Maybe it's just not a spot to take Pittsburgh, but all the numbers say this is way too high of a line. So I'll hold off for now, Jim. I'll just make one official play.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous line, but let's roll on. I'm on the board starting the next couple games. So let's roll on to Oilers.
Okay,
Bruins.
great. And I just remembered why I don't have any player props for this one, because I haven't bet it yet. I looked at the Draisaitl props, I looked at the Connor McDavid props, and actually there's nothing that I bet or liked. Obviously, Edmonton is now winning again, right? 4 in a row. They were struggling for a while. Boston, of course, is who they are, but they're coming off a nice win against Toronto. But before that, whole bunch of iffy, performances, kind of 50-50. And, you look at their last homestand. I mean, it's you look at their home games in general, just not very inspiring, right? They beat Vegas, which is nice, just by 1, big favorite, right? Beat Dallas, nice, took a shootout. Overtime loss to L.A., lost bad to Seattle, big home favorite. They lost to Washington at home, shut out, minded. This is just not a reliable team at all. So once again, kind of like Columbus, it just seems like the Edmonton line is just too low.
I was shocked at the Oilers line. I bet it when it was 3-0 Bruins over the Leafs. I love my 3 bets today, and I love this bet. Now, Look, I keep saying it over and over again, the Boston Bruins and Philadelphia Flyers have to be faded. And it's not fun fading them. They're character teams. They're gutsy teams. They play with heart. They bounce back. I can understand why if you're a fan of the Flyers or the Bruins, you like your hockey team. I can understand it. But you still have to fade them and fade them and fade them. Now, you can't fade them when they lose 5-1 or after they lose 5-1 at Long Island. I did. In the Islanders game, I was all over them. I was like, I want to fade them every single chance I get, except after they get embarrassed. And that's how I'm going to be doing things with these teams that I want to fade. So I couldn't bet Toronto because Boston is like I said, character team that bounced back. Now I have the perfect chance to bet them.
Right.
The perfect chance. I love the Oilers here. And you could say, well, look, the Oilers are coming off beating the Penguins 6-1 at home. You know what keeps you sharp? Going into TD Garden in Boston, where it's sold out. The fans are incredibly supportive of their team. We have a Bruins team that's 19-7-5 at home. It's just brings you right back to that 1990 Stanley Cup. I believe it was 1990. So this is just, I think, an absolutely spectacular spot for the Edmonton Oilers. So yeah. I moved before it was available at Pinnacle. I moved when it was minus 120 at 365 and then plus 200 on the puck line. Right now, it opened at 7:42 a.m. at minus 116 at Pinnacle. It's now minus 125. So, it was fine moving ahead of things. And I do believe that should work in my favor. And it did in the Islanders spot as well. This total is at 6 minus 118 to the over. It opened up at 6.5 and it only and that was at Pinnacle opening up at 7:42 a.m. Only lasted there for 38 minutes. But for me, the Oilers are bet on. The Bruins are a team that we fade, and it's not fun fading them. Look, I get it, but we do. Hampus Lindholm remains out. I'm on the Oilers on the -1 line. I got plus 136. Could have taken them on the money line at minus 120. I also bet more than a unit on this game. I'm not going. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go for the big scores when I feel like there's an opportune time. I don't want to cash a minus 120 here. I want to cash a plus 136, and I want to cash it for more than a unit. And if I'm going to keep my shit clean, then I better attack the spots that I like the best, and that's what I've done right here. I'm on the Oilers -1 at plus 136, Pete.
Okay, great. And you can add on for me. Again, I'll text this to you as well. But I agree with you. I'm just going to take them first period, though, to start. -118, current line at Pinnacle. Edmonton, first period money line, -118. Still maybe a little bit of an awesomeness bias for fading Boston. But yeah, I'm going to take them first period -118. I have to think that full game, they're a good play as well. But I'm just going to make that one play. Okay, Jim? And no props for me.
Oilers first period -115. And Nasty laughing, heard people saying yesterday, fade the Bruins. I don't know why anybody would want to fade a team with character after getting demolished. I think you should, in every single sport, you don't fade a team with character after getting demolished. You fade them after they feel good about themselves, like they do leaving Toronto in this situation. So here, I'm on the Oilers -1, and I love it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew there was a prop bet that I made. I did bet one, Jimmy the Bag. This is interesting. Connor McDavid assist. It's -203 at Pinnacle, but I think it should be closer to like 300 or even a little bit higher. McDavid's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
He's awesome.
It's a great time to be an NHL fan because it's not just McDavid anymore. We have like Nate Dogg saying Pasternak. I mean, you have Pasta right now. I mean, basically you have two of the top 3 players in the league. I mean, it's tough to not have Cale Makar in there. You'd probably Nate McKinnon. So, but this game, this is must-watch TV for good hockey. It's going to be absolutely great hockey, and that's why I can expect the Oilers to stay sharp despite the 6-1 victory over the Pens. So let's roll on.
All right, you know what? I'll add that one on officially. I'll take a -203. I don't love taking these huge lines on props, but McDavid assist -203, current line at Pinnacle. That's a second official play for me, Jim. All right.
I love it. Nordy loving the Oilers as well. Let's roll on. Next up for us, Blues Islanders, Pete.
Okay, the Blues and Islanders. This is another tricky one. The Islanders, of course, with the new coach, got some mixed results over the past bunch of weeks, and now they've won 3 in a row, right? Okay, the win over Boston. Maybe Boston's not that great, but a road win at Detroit and at Dallas. That's pretty impressive. Are they going to be able to continue it? This is where the team issues are. I mean, the team, power rankings that you're so good at probably come into play. St. Louis on a back-to-back, right? They beat Philly in a shootout yesterday. So seems like the Islanders would be the obvious play, unless you think that they're a little bit of a fraud. And it's a if you buy them now, it's a buy high spot for the Islanders, taking a big favorite line after winning 3 in a row, and they're really not that good. But first glance, seems like the Islanders are the obvious play.
The Islanders are the play here. I got the Blues plus 230, down 1-0 against the Flyers yesterday. I'm making it, I'm going to put my quantity down and fire and attack at these spots that I really like. And that was the whole idea of moving my unit size up on January 1st. And sometimes maybe you need a kick in the neck, like I got in February, just to sharpen yourself up. But I love the Islanders here. I love them. I bet it early. I got -165 on the money line and +150 on the puck line at Bet365 because it wasn't available at Pinnacle. And I knew that Pinnacle would probably put out a better line, but I can't wait for this. This total is 6 -112 to the under, open up at -107. So we have a 5-cent move to the under. And then from a money line standpoint, we're sitting here with the Islanders now at -184. They opened up at -173 at 7:40 in the morning. So it was good moving at Bet365, despite knowing that Pinnacle gives you better lines, but moving as soon as I could. I got this -1 at -106. I love my card today. St. Louis power play 17.3%, penalty killing 79.6%. The Islanders power play 22.6%. Their penalty killing's been a problem all year, 71.7%. Blues are on the second half of the back-to-back after winning their second straight 2-1 in the shootout last night. Oilers coming off their third straight win 5-1 at home over the Bruins on Saturday. I don't love backing a team after that kind of a performance, but they fly to the West Coast to start a very important 4-game trip tomorrow. And it's an interesting one. It's San Jose, Anaheim. They only have one tough game against the Kings, and then they play Buffalo, and then they come home. The reason why I'm following them so closely is I think that they will take the Flyers' position in the playoffs, and we have a nice big bet, a +190 for them to make the playoffs. Scott Mayfield and Matt Martin are both day-to-day, and they bring a lot of toughness to the team. But the one thing about this Islanders squad here is that they're full of intangibles. Mm-hmm. They're a deep, dangerous team with now they have offense mixed with real accountability, and they have Patrick Waugh behind the bench. I really think that they stay hot here and take care of business. I got them on the -1 line at -106. And I really like the spot for the Islanders here.
Okay, I think I'm going to tail you on that. I do have a few props that I hit. The one I really like, and maybe this is, maybe I'm not good at pricing, figuring back-to-backs, but Rob Thomas assist, -114. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I'm definitely going to take that one. Noah Dobson under 2.5 shots, -127. I'm going to take that one. And And then I also kind of want to take Jordan Kyrou under shots. I actually betted at 3.5 at like minus 180 earlier. Now Pinnacle, it's 2.5 at like plus money. I still think that has a little bit of value. And okay, I'll add that one on there as well. I'll take the Pinnacle line, whatever. 2.5 plus 139. That's the current line of Pinnacle. Kyrou under 2.5 plus 139. I also kind of like Brock Nelson over 3.5. And I don't know, statistically, I like Buchnevich to get a goal at plus 160. Jake Neighbors over 1.5 at minus 188. But I think for now, I'll just take those three. Dobson under 2.5, Rob Thomas assist, and Kyrou under 2.5 plus 139. But I'll probably add some others on as well. But yeah, I think the Islanders minus one is kind of a no-brainer play. And I will throw that one on there, Jimmy the Bag, as well. I'll take the Pinnacle line right now. I'll calculate it out, and I will take that one as well. Islanders minus one, and I'll have to calculate it right now very quickly. Is anyone in the comments section saying – sorry, go ahead.
I love it. Dan Bonner says, Isles just lost to the Blues 4-0 on February 22nd, just 5 games ago. Dan Bonner also says the Flyers dominated the last half of the game in overtime versus the Blues, just couldn't get the puck in. I watched every second of that game, and I don't agree. I mean, the Flyers didn't even touch the puck for the first 2 minutes of overtime. Didn't even touch it. I thought the Blues dominated overtime. I also thought the Blues were a much more dangerous hockey team throughout that game. It's just that the Flyers, you talk about the Islanders having intangibles. The Flyers have intangibles. The best penalty kill in the league. They've stopped 28 straight kills at home. They blocked the most shots in the league. The Flyers are playing really tough. But when you talked about Thomas, when Thomas, Kyrou, and Bucci were out there, to me, it was pretty far and away the most talented players on the ice. Now you could say that Tippett showed some signs, but without Konechny, the Flyers are vulnerable. But I, it's fun, Dan, and I'm not right. I'm not saying that I'm right and you're right. It's just fun that you watch a hockey game and you get a different sense of what's going on. Maybe it's your bets that are telling it, and I love capping with you, Dan. But I'm on the Islanders minus one.
All right. I'm taking Islanders minus 120 current line at Pinnacle, and I'm also going to throw on Brock Nelson over 3.5 shots at plus 123 current line at Pinnacle as well. Can't not take that one. Nelson over 3.5 plus 123 as well.
I love it. Philly Eagle Flying House has still hung over from the Flyers. Cash the draw. I love it. Dave Redling on the Roslovic, Rodriguez each have over 1.5 shots on goal in the parlay. Let's roll into the next spot on the board. We got to keep brisk pace here, Pete.
Yes.
Habs spreads.
Habs spreads. Yeah, my first thought was over. Right, Nashville obviously 8 straight wins. I got a lot of shit in my head, so I can't remember who the hell it was that said they wanted to bet on or fade Nashville about 10 games ago, and whoever that was either extremely right or extremely wrong. But someone in our videos said something strong about Nashville about 10 games ago, and whoever that was, it might have been you saying you wanted to bet on them. I don't remember, but they have won.
Yeah.
They're winning. I'm sorry, Jim.
Oh, yeah, I've got the over 87.5 points on the season. They're healthy.
Yeah.
I'm
winning.
I'm a believer in the hockey team.
And they're winning by margins. We're not talking about overtime wins as a minus 280 favorite and shit like that. They're winning by margins. Montreal, they're pretty clearly undervalued, though. 2 straight OT road losses as a huge dog. Those teams that they lost to are the teams you want to be careful of. Huge favorites winning in OT and stuff. So Nashville's a huge favorite here. Again, I don't know what I would do. I had to lean to the over, but I'm pretty sure that I like Caulfield over 3.5 shots. And I think I really like Nick Suzuki to score a goal at like plus 200 or so. I also like the Suzuki over shots. I also like Forsberg over 3.5 shots. I also like Roman Josi, point and assist. Assist I like more, but I also like point even at like minus 200 or so. So I like all of those. My favorites are Josi assist, Suzuki to score a goal for value, and Cole Caulfield over 3.5 shots. And those are all going to be official when I get a price here, Jim.
Beautiful. Yeah, the Preds opened up at minus 214. They're now minus 207. I was surprised how big the line was, but it made sense. I was surprised, though, that it was quite this big. I know that they're on a big winning streak. From a total side of things, it's sitting at 6, minus 118 to the over. It opened up at minus 119, 1 cent move to the under. And Saros is starting to play well, which has been a huge boon for them. Both teams have similar power plays. Montreal 19.3, Nashville 19.7. Similar penalty kills. Montreal 74.2, Nashville 76.2. Habs come in off a really impressive 2-game trip down to Florida. So I got talked in, and I don't mind it, that I got talked into the Panthers on the puck line against Montreal. Was that maybe? I can't remember exactly when. Oh, that was on Thursday. And I was really impressed with how Montreal played. And then they lose again 4-3 in the shootout at Tampa on Saturday. And again, I was staring at that the whole time. I was like, I got to stay away. And so you have to fade the Montreal Canadiens on the -1 line because of how big of an underdog they are game in and game out. They've only lost once in their last 7 games by more than 1 goal. And then you have the Predators who've covered the puck line in each of their last 6 games. And this is game 4 of a 6-game homestand. So, yeah, I would like to back the Predators on the -1 line. I just kind of felt like I needed to get talked into it. I mean, the Habs were so good in Florida. Losing both those games in shootouts. I mean, do I really feel like the risk reward is there to back the Predators on the -1 line? A team that's won 6 straight by the puck line on a game 4 of 5-game homestand? Maybe. But I just felt like I needed to kind of get pushed in that direction. So at this point, I have not moved on this spot, Pete. But I'd like to, but God, Montreal's just playing hard. They're playing hard. They're playing better than I expected them to play. They're handling a real tough road trip. So what are you making official here?
Well, I'm going to make a bunch of prop stuff official. And I kind of like, I agree with you. I kind of like the over. What do you think about the over 6 -118 or so?
Yeah, I expect their goals to be scored, but are the Habs really going to go through this gauntlet scoring 3 goals a game? Are they? Because if you get to 3 with the Habs, you're cashing that. I mean, I don't know. It's just going to keep. I mean, you got the juxtaposition with the Predators cashing all of the puck lines and the Habs not losing by more than 1 goal. And
I'm going to take it, Jim. I'm going to take the over 6 -118 current line of Pinnacle, and then 5 props. Again, I will email all these to you. Caulfield over 3.5 shots on goal -129. Forsberg over 3.5 -153. Nick Suzuki. These are dog lines. I could get burned. I bet a lot of these dog props, and then they have like 0 shots on goal. I'm like, maybe that was wrong, but I'm going to do it. Suzuki over 2.5 shots +106, and to score a goal +195. And Roman Josi assist -121. I love that one. Josi assist -121. 5 props there. Not all equally do I like them. Josi assist is my favorite, and the Suzuki ones are probably least favorite.
Shout out to my guy Swiss Horton in the chat as well. Love to see you, Swiss. Nate Dogg on Caulfield to score Montreal money line, and he's leaning towards the draw. I don't know. At this point, maybe we don't have Slatsy in the chat. Maybe, I was just so impressed with what the Habs did in Florida. Do I really need to add it? I don't know if I really need to add it. There's Sharpie in the house.
Sharpie!
Zach Wheeler under 3.5 strikeouts, making his first start. 2 straight seasons where his velocity's been down to start the year. Rogers under 2 strikeouts as well. Nate Dogg on Josh Anderson assist. Shout out to our guy Sharpie. Let's roll into the next spot.
Sharpie going to Pubpalooza?
I'm not sure. He just made the big move to Tennessee. Yeah. So he's been kind of, setting his whole life up. I hope he is, but I don't know at this point.
All right. Well, then if he doesn't go to Pubpalooza, then we'll just take a road trip to Tennessee. Fuck it.
I love it. I'm down.
Take some time off. Shout out to Sharpie.
Let's roll into the next spot. Hit the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
All right. Well, Seattle on a back-to-back. They beat Calgary yesterday. In general, they're an okay team, kind of 50-50 right now. And, Winnipeg is awesome, winning most of their games, coming back home after a 3-game trip, winning most of them. They had a couple of, talk about these huge favorites that win in OT. And I think is Dallas the one where, Dallas is the one's coming up where they won an OT or shootout as a -650 favorite. But Winnipeg has a couple of those huge favorite OT wins in their streak of winning, but they've won most of their games recently, and it's a high favorite line for Winnipeg. Seattle on a back-to-back. Again, I'm not really sure what to make of the side in total. I guess free play, I would throw it on Winnipeg, even at the big favorite line. A bunch of props I like. I love Josh Morrissey assist again at -104 or so. Kyle Connor under 2.5 shots. I bet that one at plus money, and a little bit. Jared McCann to score a point, but that was just a small, and a little bit Eberle over 2.5 at like plus 140. And I took a small shot on Sean Monahan goal at like plus 250 or so. But so I have a few props that I'll make official. Free play, I guess I would throw it on Winnipeg, but they don't inspire confidence as a big favorite right now, even against a team on a back-to-back off a win.
We've talked about the Jets all year. They play down to the level of their competition.
Right.
You don't want them against the Sharks. You don't want them against the Blackhawks. but I want them here against the Kraken. This under opened up at 5.5, minus 115. It's now 5.5, minus 112. Very slight move, towards the over. And I could not believe the line I was getting on Winnipeg. And it's still there. For anybody who wants it, you can get a better line than even I got. Right now, it's minus 161. This opened up at minus 170. This move towards the Kraken. There's Londo in the house. Yeah, Londo, I'll break it down for sure, my man. And Nate Dogg also liking Monahan to score. Shout out to our guy Robert Martin in Winnipeg right now. Says minus 24. Sunny and cold here. And so let's go over this. Hellebuck in net, important, 924 save percentage. Decord in net. Grubauer was great last night, so he's got to be good. Seattle power play 21.2%, penalty killing 79.2%. Winnipeg 18.2% power play, 77.5% penalty killing. So the Kraken are on the second half back-to-back after winning their third game in 4 nights, 4-2 at Calgary last night. So Wenberg is being traded. So he's being pulled, which means Seattle's letting go. And as they should. We talked about how we wanted them all offseason, and then when the odds came out, they were so ludicrous. Minus 125 to make the playoffs after making, being a goal overtime away from making the Western Conference Final, that we all stayed off of it, which was great. And I moved over to Winnipeg and Nashville instead. But then you have Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn got destroyed by Pospisil last night. Destroyed. Now, maybe he can play. Hackstall won't tell us. But Dunn has been a monster. 45 points in 57 games. Riker Evans will draw into the lineup, and that will be a huge loss. Just a huge loss. So the Jets coming off their second straight win, 5-2 at Buffalo. They come home, and I could not believe the -1 line that's available. -1. I got -103. You could get better now. Just a couple cents better. It's just shocking to me. The Jets know now it's going to be sleepy too. It's going to be sleepy in the arena. It's a Tuesday night in Winnipeg. Maybe 13,000 fans there. And Seattle's not going to have. Maybe has Vince Dunn. Maybe they don't. A Winnipeg team that knows they got to keep winning. I'm loving the spot here for the Jets, and I'm on the -1, -103, and I love Kraken coming off that win over Calgary. It's just perfect. It's these 3 spots I like very, very much, and I can go in very confident, and that's the plan. Now it's just a 1-unit bet here. This was the third of the 3 bets that I made, but yeah, I'm on the Jets -1, Pete.
Okay, I am on it as well. I'm going to take -1, -105, current line of Pinnacle, -1, -105, and I'll throw on 4 props. All these are a little bit iffy, but I'll throw them on. What the hell? Morrissey assist, -104, Monahan goal, +244, Kyle Connor under 2.5 shots, +126, and Eberle over 2.5 shots, +138. Hopefully I win 2 of those and come out positive a little bit. None of those I love, but yeah, I'm on all those, and I'll add on Winnipeg. All right, Jim?
I love it. And you're keeping them all together so you can send it to me.
Yes, and I will email. You don't need to write them down. I'll review them at the end of the segment, and if you want. Oh, that'll take that'll be like a roll call of like the dead, But yeah, I will, and I'll email them to you. All right.
I love it. Let's roll on. We have Blackhawks, Yotes, and Mullet.
Well, yeah, Blackhawks, of course, off a shutout at Colorado. I don't bet a lot of massive favorites in NHL, but when I do, I like to see them win last night. I did take Colorado a -1 as well as a bunch of props. Chicago just hasn't won. I mean, whatever. They've won one game. They're like 1 for January or February or whatever. They just can't buy a win. Here and there, they can buy a win. They got to win over Ottawa, and we know how much Ottawa has let us all fucking down. I probably bet Ottawa in that game. Now they're going up against Arizona, 1-2 in a row, beat Ottawa. Probably means nothing. Beat Washington. We like to fade them. Now they're coming back home. Before that, they couldn't buy a win either. They're a -200 fade, man. I don't know what the fuck to make of this. There were a few bets that I made. I took Krause over 2.5 shots at plus money. Gunther a point at a modest line. I will admit I took Connor Bedard under 2.5 shots at plus money, but I'm not going to make that official. As far as the side is concerned, I have no idea. A couple of props I like. What's your take on this crazy game, Jim?
I just don't want to be involved. The volatility is high. The Blackhawks were just embarrassed. Will they continue to be embarrassed? Like you said, they've lost 15 of 16. Soderblom, like Rocco's saying, is just horrific. 2-18-1, 3.97 goals against average, 876 save percentage. I mean, Darren Pang had better numbers. Rocco Rogers on Blackhawks team total over 1.5. Bedard point. over 5.5, first period over 1.5. I can understand people wanting to attack this game, wanting or expecting goals because Connor Ingram's fallen back to earth here. But, Blackhawks have lost 7 straight, 15-16. Connor Murphy and Nikita Zaitsev, 2 important defensemen, are still out of the lineup with injuries. The Coyotes finished their 5-game road trip with back-to-back wins, 5-3 Ottawa on Friday, 5-2 Washington on Sunday. The win snapped a 14-game losing streak. Clayton Keller's missed 4 straight games with upper body injuries day-to-day. Kerfoot's taking his spot on the top line. I mean, I just don't know who would want Arizona at this number. They opened up minus 225. They're now minus 239. Like betting the Jackets on, what was it, Saturday night. I mean, that was just like a slam of slams. But that number was so much shorter than this one. I mean, obviously Chicago was at home, which changes things a little bit. This total's at 6 minus 109 to the under. Opened up minus 102, so a 7-cent move to the under. Look, I'm running nice, and I don't want to be involved with these teams with a ton of volatility. These are not going to be weighted coin flips for me right now. I need to win. I need to stay hot, and I'm betting more than I was. So I just don't need to be involved with this bum fight, and I'm not going to be.
Okay, well, I'll make 2 props official. Lawson Krause over 2.5 shots, plus 123, and Dylan Guenther to get a point at minus 122. Current lines at Pinnacle. 2 props for that game.
Let's roll into a very interesting game here. 10:30 p.m. tonight. Canucks Kings, Pete.
Yeah, it is very interesting, and I think the primary handicapping factor for this game is, does Vancouver suck or not? If they don't suck, they're probably a good bet. If they do suck, LA is probably a great bet. Of course, LA beat New Jersey, of course, and then they also beat Vancouver 2 games ago in Vancouver, 5-1. So if Vancouver is a team with some character and some talent, they're going to come back and get revenge. If Vancouver is just a shitty team that loses and then loses again, they're going to get blown out again. Your read on Vancouver is what matters here, and there's probably a great bet to be had either way. What do you think, Jim?
I mean, they're not a shitty hockey team right now. Tyler Myers, whom I despise, is hurt, and so is Soucy and Brisebois. Soucy's a big loss. Now they need him to stay out till the end of the regular season to circumvent the cap. But now Tyler Myers is out too, and it's a lot of pressure on Hughes and Hronek to play 30 minutes. It's a lot of pressure for them not to get exhausted. Maybe they can't pinch as much. That's a problem here. And they didn't look very good in that 2-1 win at Anaheim, on Sunday. Their power play is 22.8%. We've talked about it for the last few weeks. The 1-2-1 setup now. So there's somebody on Hughes at all times. It's really slowed down. I don't know why Tocchet, Al haven't figured something out, but the power play, which should be top 5 in the league, is not. Penalty killing 78.8%. The Kings penalty killing was ahead of the Flyers until this last Flyers homestand, but they're the 2 best penalty killing teams in the league. But it's different because the Flyers lead the league with 14 shorthanded goals. Blues are next with 11. I think the Kings are 3rd with 10, but the Flyers penalty killing is so good. But here, the Kings have to win. So I don't want to fade the Canucks. I don't want to sit back and question a team that's coached by Rick Tocchet if they have any character. I don't. But I don't ever want to fade the Kings. I'm one of the very, very few people who think the Kings are going to be extremely difficult to beat in the playoffs. And they're going to be underdogs and they should be bet. So with all that said and done, Bo Jackson on the Canucks money line, Nate Dogg on Pettersson, Miller to score and an assist. And Ricky Bobby on JT Miller, Besser point parlay. I like Nasty Nate's. Look, I'm against him with the Bruins Oilers, but he's got Bruins plus 1.5 Jets money line parlay. With all that said and done, I'm off this game, but I'm extremely interested in it. And maybe the move is just to bet this under. Maybe that's the move. It opened up at minus 117 to the under. So they were giving you plus money for the over. Since then, there's been a 4-cent move on the over. Maybe just because this is a playoff type atmosphere with Demko in net. The problem is, I often talk about when a team has defensive injuries, that it doesn't hurt their defense as much as it surprisingly hurts their offense because they're not getting the outlet passes. Their best defensemen have to play more than they would like. So they question whether they want to pinch. Right now, the Canucks are at minus 108, so the market believes the Canucks have heart, a 9-cent move towards them. Maybe this under is the bet. And maybe the first period under is the bet too, because they're going to be playing a playoff type style. I didn't realize this. I'm capping this with you guys, but the unders, this is going to be a playoff hockey game. And I love the recency. We talk often about how when you have that recency, it just creates a dislike for the other team and a more intense atmosphere. This could be a playoff matchup. And Rocco says, I think this can be a playoff game. The Canucks can win. I think this is an under, and I didn't realize it until breaking it down with you guys, but I guess I have to add it. The cap makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm going to throw on one prop here. JT Miller over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 120. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I think you might be right about the under. That's high here. I have maybe lean under with 4 Ys, but hearing you now, it's like maybe that was one of my leans that was a good read, and my hesitancy is why the line is where it is. You think it's going to be a low scoring?
I just don't see how the Canucks are like with the Canucks offensively. We know what you need. You need it all to kind of come from Hughes and JT. I know that people talk about Pedersen and but JT Miller is the best forward on this hockey team, and anybody who watches this team, night in, night out knows that. But here, you have Miller over at center with Besser and Mikheyev. You have Hoglander, Pedersen, and Suter, Garland, Lindholm, and Podkolzin. Bluger on the fourth line. It's a deep hockey team, but it's not electric. Then you have Ian Cole and Mark Friedman as your second pair defenseman. Zadorov and Yulson. Now, Yulson's been throwing his body around. He's playing bigger than he is, but this is not the offensive juggernaut. And now with Hughes and Roenick, and you have the Canucks not scoring on the power play. Look, honestly, if the Kings hadn't have beaten the Canucks 5-1 4 days ago, I'd be on the Kings here. This is not the Canucks team you're going to see in the playoffs. There's going to be reinforcements, and they need them on defense bad. So I'm gonna the under 6 is calling, and I'm gonna be on it. I think.
All right, I'm going to throw on the first period under 1.5 plus 103, current line of Pinnacle. So just 2 plays for me. JT Miller over 2.5 shots minus 120, and first period under 1.5 plus 103, both current lines at Pinnacle.
Michael Johnson said, "Don't overthink it, Jimmy. It's LA." That's fine, Michael Johnson. But look, in my capping across all sports, I am not going to fade a team that was just embarrassed by the other team, ever. And look, or embarrassed just generally. And look, it cost me money not fading Vegas last night, but that's going to be my plan. I'll just leave it off. So I get it from an X's and O's standpoint, Michael Johnson, but with my unit size going up and coming off a bad February, I got to keep shit really clean, or I'm not going to be here. It's that simple. I'm not going to fucking be here. I have to win. And so I'm going to keep shit clean, man. That's all. All right, let's roll into the next spot on the board. 10:30 p.m. Pete, Star Sharks.
All right, here you go. Dallas and San Jose. This is like, we talk about this a lot. These, huge favorites that win in overtime. Sometimes they lose, but a lot of times they just give heart attacks to the people who bet them. And last game, Dallas at home against San Jose, minus 650, or whatever the friggin' closing line was, whatever the line is you got, did pull it out in a shootout. So if you took the money line, you won. If you took -1, you pushed. -1.5 or anything worse than that, you lost. And that is unbelievable. When you saw that coming, it was just like, when you saw that situation, it's like, man, I don't know who's betting Dallas, but I pray for their soul. And, Dallas, before that game, how much did they lose? Like 6 of 8 or 5 of 7 or something like that. They had been losing a bunch. And San Jose before that game, had been mostly losing, but with a win here and there. I mean, they beat Calgary as a big dog. Earlier in the year, we remember that San Jose went on a run where they were, winning as a massive dog several games in a row or coming close. So San Jose, obviously a shitty team, but here and there they'll pick it up and give people who faded them as a big favorite heart attacks. Now here they are again as a massive, massive dog. I'm not sure what to make of it, but there are a bunch of props that I bet. I bet Heiskanen over 2.5 shots at +105. Thomas Harley over 2.5 at +145 shots. And I like Mac Duchene point at about 150 and Declare goal at plus 286. I think that should be closer to, 150 or so. But those are the 4 props that I bet. Liking the first 2 the most. As far as the size total is concerned, I don't know. Free play, definitely would throw it on San Jose one way or another, though. What do you think, Jim?
I think, and we're going to get back to get into college basketball, and we'll keep a brisk pace through that. And this is our final game in the NHL card. But historically, and this is just more of a vividness thing, when a huge favorite plays a real weakling at home and barely wins by the skin of their teeth, they come back and smash that opponent. Now, look at this line. What the hell are we supposed to do with this line? Dallas at minus 407 right now. They open up minus 377. Like but also it was Magnus Krona. Magnus Krona, who, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know he was a 5th round pick, 2018 draft out of Tampa. Looks a little bit like Gokster, 6'5", 27 pounds out of Stockholm, Sweden. And he has not been good in the AHL, 892 save percentage, 5-13. Now the Barracuda is a shitty hockey team. But he was in the ECHL to start this year. He was in the University of Denver last year. If Magnus Krona is in net again here, I'm not going to sit here and believe that there's going to be more, fairy dust sprinkled on him. I mean, 36 saves in his second career NHL start, and it was his first game he actually played from start to finish. So, and the Sharks had a game following that loss to the Stars. Like, this is all set up for the Stars to, attack. But this number makes it just impossible to bet. And that's okay. It's okay if it's impossible. But there's also, like with San Jose, you got Hurdle and Couture out. You have Matt Banning out till next year. Now you have Barabanov and Eklund. Eklund should be back. He was sick. But Dallas now has their defenseman back, but Tanev's still dealing with the visa issues. Dodonov and Seguin are out right now. And they just cut Hanley. They just waived Hanley. I think Hanley will get picked up by somebody. And they love Hanley on this team. He's sort of being like a healthy scratch type guy, but they love him. They need to cut him for salary cap reasons, even though he gets paid the minimum. I think he'll get picked up, but I don't think that, what are we supposed to do? I don't understand. Like, so yeah, if it's Krona, I think he's going to get lit up. I think the Stars are going to light him up, but is that worth it? Like, what is this puck line right now? At Pinnacle is minus 153. I just don't understand how that's worth. If it's so important to me to succeed, I don't know how I can close the game on something like that. It just seems ludicrous. So I can't. I got nothing.
All right. Well, I will add 4 props. These are all current lines at Pinnacle. Heiskanen over 2.5 shots plus 105. Thomas Harley over 2.5 shots plus 145. Matt Duchene to score a point at minus 148. And I don't know, statistically, I have Duclair here as some value to get a goal. If he scores a goal in it and I don't take it, I'll be frustrated. So I'll throw it on there. Plus 283 current line at Pinnacle. Anthony Duclair to score a goal. 4 props for this game for me.
And I don't think it's Sharks puck line or nothing. I know the odds are telling us that, and Joseph Gomez on that. So I get it from a market standpoint, but still, the Stars just got embarrassed and barely won. How do they not go and attack, destroy this hockey team? How is it, look, I can't be involved in it, but I have a vividness bias of this situation of the team now heading to the weakling, to their building and destroying them. But let's move on. I think I'm going to add the under 6 in Vancouver, LA. I think I'm going to add that. It's going to be one of those spots where, obviously I'll be watching the game, but I'll have to have my live. I did have to empty my live account with the struggles that I had, but I've thrown some back in. I got the plus 230 on last night with the Blues. This would be one. If there's an early goal in Vancouver, LA, this would be one that I would attack. This could also be for those of you hunting for draws. The Canucks Kings sort of has a real draw feel, a playoff type atmosphere. At this point, I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'll put a question mark on it here. And maybe the issue, and maybe I'll have to come to that realization at some point, is that I should cut my unit size so that I would attack a draw like this. But I've got 3 bets that I really like, and I guess I add the under there. So before Pete reviews his action, I'm on the Oilers -1 at +136. I really like it. I'm on the Islanders -1 at -106. I really like it. I'm on the Jets -1 at -103. I really like it. Then I have the Predators with question marks beside it, and the under 6. Have to take the Predators on the -1 line. I don't know if I can go there. At this point, I expect to add the under 6 and then have 4 bets on the NHL card. Pete, take it away. Your action.
You want me to list everything?
Yeah, just run through it fast.
Okay, I'll run through it fast. I'm not going to quote the lines. I'm just going to say what it is because it's a lot here. Okay, we got officially we got Hughes over 4.5, Hischier over, Toffoli under 3.5, Alex Barkov under 2.5, Jesper Bratt under 3.5, and Brandon Montour point. Boone Jenner over 2.5 shots. Edmonton first period money line and McDavid assist at -203. Noah Dobson under 2.5. Rob Thomas assist. Jordan Kyrou under 2.5 at plus money. Brock Nelson over 3.5 plus money. And the Islanders -1, -120. In the next game, Caulfield over 3.5. Forsberg over 3.5. Nick Suzuki goal. Roman Josi assist. And Nick Suzuki over 2.5 shots. And I also took the over 6 in that game, -118. Seattle, Winnipeg. Morrissey assist. Monahan goal. Kyle Connor under 2.5 shots. Eberle over 2.5 shots, and Winnipeg -1, -105. Next game, Lawson Krause over 2.5 shots, and Dylan Gunther point, -122. In Vancouver, LA first period under 1.5. JT Miller over 2.5 shots. And in Dallas, San Jose, Heiskanen over 2.5. Thomas Harley over 2.5. Matt Duchene to get a point, and Anthony Duclair to score a goal, +283.
Wow. 48% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on that under in Los Angeles. So I guess you want the market to move in that direction. And okay, great stuff, Pete. That was a lot of fun. It's supposed to be fun. I enjoy capping it, but I am. Look, I can't imagine what I would be like if I wasn't on this run that I'm on right now. I just can't even comprehend the heaviness. So I know that this is supposed to be fun, and I want it to be fun. Let's get to work.
It is fun. I'm having fun.
All right. Okay. Let's get into college basketball here. That is something that we have been successful with. By the way, Pete, I don't know if you know this, but one of our cappers, a young Dabby Cab, is now in the final month of his attempt to be my first guest in the history of me doing shows publicly to hit over 60%. My first weekly guest to hit over 60% on the spread in the history of capping.
Dabby Cab's hitting over 60%?
On my show, he's hitting over 60%. I imagine he's pretty close
to that.
I'm
not having fun. Now I'm not having fun. Now I'm jealous and pissed off. No, I'm kidding around. I'm happy for him. Dabby Cab.
So Dabby Cab, and so tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, this next month, he's now the closest to have this to go through was Dutch Boy Fresh, who just slipped over the last couple of weeks of the season 2 years ago in NBA. Dabby Cab is 44-28, 61.1%. plus 13.58 units, ROI plus 18.86%, average line -109. So that's what Dabby Cab is attempting to do here. Yeah.
That is fucking impressive right there.
It is. And so he's attempting to do something that has never been done by a guest of mine. Has anyone done that with you before? A weekly guest hit over 60% in any sport against the spread?
Not even close. I struggled to get a weekly guest over a coin flip my whole friggin' career. Unbelievable, Jimmy the Bag.
Yes, I know that struggle. I know that struggle. Okay, let's get to work here in college basketball. Nasty Nate's how's his ping pong record looking? That's not as strong. That's not quite as strong there. Not quite as strong. And if I have to come over to the spot in San Antonio, I will deliver a beatdown. Okay, let's get into college basketball, Pete. And we got to move really quickly here. We got to move very quickly. So we are going to start with, we're going to go chronologically as we always do. And we are going to start with all of the conference tournament games, and then we'll get into the ranked games. But we're going to do everything chronologically. Let's get to work.
Jim, a lot of those games didn't have lines on the overnight lines, and I haven't had a chance to look at them.
That's okay. That's okay. If I just set them up, then we can move.
Yeah.
You can just say I've got nothing. We move on. I need to set them up because I copy and paste the information from the chat. That's so funny. Dana's right. By the way, Pete, not only is he at 61.1%, but he's also done this. He's 8-0 with bets he hasn't made. They're not on his record, on bets that he's not sure if he's going to make and he decides not to. He's 8-0. So imagine what his record could be if it wasn't for the waffling. So those 8-0, not part of his record.
Wow.
BJ's best bet coming in for college basketball and here for NBA. I've copied and pasted your NBA one. But let me get this college basketball one in. Thank you, BJ, for sharing that with us. So again, it's interesting what Pete's talking about because we know how important you guys are in the chat, and that's why if the line came out late because of the conference tournament play yesterday, I still want to hear what you guys have to say about it. So that's so please hammer away in the chat. All right, let's roll. We go at 6 p.m. Eastern. We have the Patriot League Championship, first round of the Patriot League. We have the Holy Cross Crusaders, 9-22, 6-12 in conference. At the Army Black Knights, 10-21, 6-12 in conference. And we're at West Point, New York, for this first game in the Patriot League. Let's get this set up very quickly here with the line history and everything like that. Holy Cross has lost 3 straight and 4 of 5. Army's lost 4 straight. Their last win was at Holy Cross. They won 59-53 at Holy Cross back on the 17th of February. They, beat them for the second time here. They lost 70-57 back on January 6th. So we have this issue. Is Holy Cross going to lose a 3 straight to Army this year? Not a good Army team. Does Holy Cross have enough character to stop this from happening? Let's take a look at the line history here and then get into the cash flow and then hear what Pete's thoughts are. And everybody in the chat, we want to know your thoughts as well. So from a line history standpoint, we're using BetOnline openers. We have our BetOnline link on our website, pupsportsradio.com. We have $1,000 bonus. Up 100% bonus up to $1,000, 100% bonus up to $1,000. And it doesn't have to be Bitcoin like you see everywhere else. This can be anything that you want. We also have our MyBookie link as well, Bovada link, and our Prize Picks link. But we're going to be using BetOnline openers and closers here. Holy Cross opening up at +4.5. Got down to 4 immediately. Now sitting at 5. A half-point move towards Army here at home. A half-point move towards Army. Then from a total side of things here, sorry, get this over here quickly. From a total side of things, we are dealing with a 130.5. This opened up at 127.5, so we have a 3-point move towards the over. And then cash flow. You have 91% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on Army. Pete, with the line only moving a half point, 91% of tickets, 91% of cash on Army. Army attempting to beat Holy Cross for the 3rd straight time. I find Holy Cross a little bit appealing here. 9% of the tickets and 31% of the cash on the over. That's a bit of a surprise, that there's such few tickets and cash on the over because this has gone from 127.5 to 130.5. Take it away, Pete. Your plan.
Well, first half under is an auto play for me. I'll take the Heritage line, which is 61 minus 114. First half under minus 114. And I'm no Dabby Cab here, and I never claimed to be. But yes, Holy Cross is very appealing, especially first half. I haven't bet it. I did hit a couple of first half winners yesterday on Queens and a few others. And +3 minus 109. That looks very appealing. And you know what? I'll throw that one on as well. Yes, I will. I'll throw Holy Cross first half. Probably 3.5 with the low scoring I'm expected at minus 120. Yeah, I'll take that one actually. First half +3.5, minus 120. That's current line at Heritage. Holy Cross, first half plus 3.5, minus 120. Full game's probably decent too.
I like that a lot. I'm with you on the first half, maybe a slightly more appealing, or maybe legitimately more appealing than the full game. I expect to be with you on that one. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Sorry, I had things a little messed up. I'll have this all going faster too in a second, but let's roll on. Next up for us is the Sun Belt first round conference championship. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers 8-21, 5-13 in the Sun Belt. At UL Monroe Warhawks 11-18, 6-12 in the Sun Belt. We're in Pensacola, Florida, the Pensacola Bay Center for all of these games. Now we watched UL Monroe get better as the season went on. Coastal Carolina, Pete, I had first half on Friday, and I expect they were up 27-26 in the first half, and then they fell apart against James Madison. And then they covered the full game. So I really screwed up. It was plus 8.5 was first half, 14.5 was full game. I went 4-3 Friday in college basketball, and I should have went 7-0. This was a mistake, getting cute with first half instead of the full game. Coastal Carolina has lost 4 straight. UL Monroe has lost 3 straight. They won at home versus the Ragin' Cajuns. So they've only lost 3 straight. Against UL Monroe, Coastal Carolina lost at UL Monroe February 7th, 79-75. And that was the only meeting this year with UL Monroe, that 79-75 loss there. So let's get into the line history here for this next spot on the board. We'll start with the total. This total is sitting at 145.5. It opened up at 146. This had dropped down to 144.5. And then from a spread perspective, we have, here we go. We have Coastal Carolina plus 2 at minus 110. They opened up at plus 2.5, got to plus 1.5. Now they're sitting right now at plus 2 at minus 110. And then when we get to the money, on the total, you have 67% of tickets and 93% of cash on the under. And on the spread, you have 21% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on Coastal Carolina. So we should also touch on the money line then. On the money line, it's almost exactly the same. 21% of tickets, 63% of cash on Coastal Carolina. I find Coastal Carolina appealing. Shout out to Williams Wrestling. Thank you, my guy. I find an AOD in the house. I find Coastal Carolina appealing after showing character against James Madison. But Monroe has improved throughout the season. What's your thoughts here, Pete?
I have no real opinion on this side, but I like the under, and I'll make first half under 68.5 minus 114 official play. Pinnacle has 115, Heritage 114, so I'll make the first half under 68.5 minus 114 official play, Coastal and LMU, and I also like the full game under as well.
And you have nothing on, like if I give you a free $500 bet on a side, would you just not want to be involved?
I would call what's that fucking show? What was that show where they called a friend? I would call Dabby Cat. I'd be like, what should I do? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? What was that? I can't even remember. Call a friend.
I don't watch TV, man.
Yeah, I would call. I would use my call an expert, and I would call Dabby Cat.
I find Coastal Carolina appealing here. Oldie saying sharp money pouring in on Coastal. Robert Franklin on Coastal money line. I find that appealing. I really do. Okay, let's.
Yeah, I mean, in general, if there's a game that I have absolutely no opinion on, and other people are like, giving strong opinions about sharp money, this and that, then that's probably something I would tail. But as of right now, no opinion.
All right, we're going to stay with the conference tournament. So we stay we'll come back to the Patriot League Championship first round. The Loyola Maryland Greyhounds 7-24, 5-13 in conference at the Navy Midshipmen. We're at Alumni Hall in Annapolis, Maryland. The Midshipmen 8-10 at home. Oh, excuse me, 8-10 in conference in the Patriot League. My bad. Loyola snapped their losing streak with that 69-68 win at home versus Army. On Saturday. Navy won their 4th straight game, and one of those wins was against Loyola Maryland at Loyola Maryland. They won 69-62. Navy's playing well. They've won 4 straight. Navy just 8-10 in the conference. Loyola Maryland 5-13, but 3 games ago, these teams were tied. Navy didn't play very well. They played clean like they usually do, just 7 turnovers, but they shot 26.7 from 3. The problem, Loyola Maryland was horrific. 31.3 from the field, 20% from 3. Can we expect any type of bounce back, from this bad Loyola Maryland team? Can they play better? Can they shoot better? So they played Navy twice. They won at Navy 74-70. Then Navy came back and got their Rebenga. And here they play for the third time this season. Let's get into the line history here again using bet online openers and closers. We have, it's a little further down than I had expected. Here we go. We have Navy sitting here at -7. -7. They opened up at 7.5. They're now at -7. So there's been a half-point move to Loyola Maryland. That's interesting. I do find them somewhat appealing, even though they played so bad. It's nice to get that win against Army going into this conference tournament. Then from a total standpoint, we're sitting here at 132.5. That's where it opened, 132.5. There's been no movement despite this dropping yesterday at 2 p.m. And then cash flow for this spot. We have, come on, please. We have, let's get to the spread. From a spread perspective, you have 93% of tickets and 97% of cash on Loyola Maryland. Wow. And then 50-50 on the total with 54% of tickets on the under. Well, that will take me off of the spot here with everybody on Loyola Maryland. Robert Franklin, Justin McKelvey on it as well. There's my guy, Ickschnizzle, in the house. He'll be running with us in San Antonio. I can't wait. Icky E. Woods in the house. Take it away, Pete. Patriot League Championship, round 1, Loyola Navy.
I bet first half unders in these two games. These two teams are, earlier in the year and lost with them. As far as Loyola, the reason the line is so big is because Loyola has injuries, right? They've had injuries for a couple games now. The 2 top guys are out, and so that's why. I probably will be on the first half under as well here, but I did already bet this twice this year with these 2 teams and lost both of them. But so lean first half under, and I really should pull the trigger, but I won't.
I'm going to stay off of this one as well. Cody Norton says, we racing horses today. You're damn right. Damn right. We're racing horses. A gold member race popping off here. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that will close up our show. Let's roll on. We have the Horizon League Championship first round. IUPUI 6-25, 2-18 in conference at the Cleveland State Vikings 18-13, 11-9 in the Horizon. We're at the Wolstein Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's get into the situation here. IUPUI on the throes of a losing streak, and these teams just played. They just played at Cleveland State, 75-66 win for Cleveland State. They were up 36-29 at the half. They were in control. IUPUI shot 50% from the field. Now just 18.2 from 3, but turned the ball over 17 times, which has been an Achilles heel for IUPUI. So Cleveland State, just took care of business. And let's just grab the time they played before that. So they also played here. Sorry, I just had it. What the hell did I just do with it? They also played here in an 86-77 win for Cleveland State at IUPUI. So 2 very comfortable victories for the Vikings, who are 11-9 in conference. They weren't that bad. I mean, they're 4 games out of first. Even though you see them at the bottom of the ledger, it's just because IUPUI was 2-18 in conference and Detroit Mercy was 1-19 in conference. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have the total sitting at 145, opened up 144.5. Then from a spread perspective, get over here as fast as possible. I'll have this moving smoother here in a second. Then from a spread perspective, we have IUPUI at +16. They opened up at +15.5, got up 16.5, now it's 16, so a half-point move towards them. And then cash flow wise, 33% of the tickets and 75% of cash is on the over. Half point move towards that. 52% of tickets and 60% of the cash is on IUPUI, but we see this slight move towards Cleveland State. Any interest here, Pistol Pete, for the Horizon League Championship first round? Nope.
I did look at this game. No interest.
All right, then we roll on to the next Horizon League game. That is Robert Morris. Robert Morris, 10-21, 6-14 in the Horizon League at Purdue Fort Wayne, 20-11, 11-9 in the Horizon. Now, all these games, I should say all these games. What am I talking about? But this game is being played, in Fort Wayne at the Allen County War Memorial. Let's get into the line history here and the situation. Sorry. God, got to move quicker here. And here we go. Robert Morris, PFW. We have Morris coming in the throes of a losing streak. Purdue Fort Wayne's been playing good basketball. They have that one loss at Milwaukee, but they were rolling. And these teams just played. And Robert Morris went into PFW and got destroyed 82-65. They lost badly. 83-65, lost badly. Robert Morris shot 39.4 from the field, 32.4 from three, turned the ball over 15 times. PFW were 10.5-point favorites, and this was tight early, and then it was just a pull away here for the Mastodons. So did they face each other once more here, Pete? Yes, they did. And there was an overtime victory. Wow, a very, very tight one in the first time these teams met. Robert Morris won 91-88 in overtime, shot the ball much better than PFW, and won despite turning the ball over 25 times. Wow. Very, very interesting. All right, let's take a look at the line history here for this one. This one is sitting with Robert Morris as 10.5-point dogs. They opened up at 10.5, went up to 11.5, but they're right back from where we started. They're right back at 10.5. And then from a total perspective, we have Robert Morris and PFW sitting at 147.5. This opened up right there, so there's been no movement, a 5-cent move to the under. And then cash-wise, 38% of the tickets and 83% of the cash is on Robert Morris. 83% of tickets on the over. How is Robert Morris not appealing here? Troy Torrance said he once dropped a TD against Robert Morris. He'll never forget it. And pull one up looking at Western Michigan money line. Why is Robert Morris not an appealing spot here after getting destroyed by Purdue Fort Wayne? Maybe first half, maybe early, Pete.
This one again. I looked at, didn't bet it. Lean Robert Morris first half for sure, but didn't bet it and probably won't.
Well, I will. I'll be on Robert Morris first half in this spot. It feels like enough correlates for me. Now, Robert Morris, look, that win in overtime, it was a full-length pass and a three-pointer at the buzzer. Purdue Fort Wayne got their revenge. Purdue Fort Wayne's playing good basketball right now, but I just don't see why Robert Morris wouldn't come in kind of loosey-goosey and play okay basketball. Let's move over to the ASUN. Here we go. ASUN Championship quarterfinal. This is being played in Richmond, Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky 17-13, 12-4 in the ASUN. Jacksonville 15-16, but they were bad in the ASUN, sitting at 5-11. There's my guy Sean Pulliam in the house. Anunya was going to use PFW first half money line as a parlay piece. So let's set this one up here. Jacksonville snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 92-86 win at Kennesaw State. So that stopped their losing streak. But Eastern Kentucky, who win the conference, lose their last 2 games, lose at Austin Peay and then lose at Lipscomb. We had a lot of great cappers here on Lipscomb on Friday. I wish I had been one of them. Bobano was on Lipscomb money line. I wish I had been on them. So Eastern Kentucky, now these teams faced each other once this year, and it was a 75-59 victory for Eastern Kentucky. So Jacksonville Dolphins came to this is Baptist Health Arena, right? So they came here to Baptist Health Arena. They got destroyed. They were destroyed from the get-go. And now Jacksonville gets another chance for what could be their final game of the season. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the total sitting at 144 flat. It opened up at 147. So we've had a big 3-point drop. And then from a point spread perspective here, we have it sitting at 8.5. Eastern Kentucky, 8.5-point favorites. They opened up at 6. A huge 2-point move to Eastern Kentucky, coming off 2 straight losses. 50% of the tickets and 96% of cash on the over. Strange. And then 60% of tickets and 93% of cash on Jacksonville. And yet this line's moving towards Eastern Kentucky. Wow. This is an interesting one. Why wouldn't Eastern Kentucky smash now that they're in the playoffs? They had clinched. They weren't trying hard. They weren't playing hard. They didn't look good. Or are they not capable of flipping the switch on? Kenny Ken in the house. What up, Kenny Ken? Take it away for us here, Pete. ASUN Championship quarterfinal, Jacksonville, Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, I like Eastern Kentucky first half and maybe the first half under as well. Haven't bet it yet. There was no line out on the overnight line, but yeah, I definitely would not be a surprise if Jacksonville makes a run the whole way and wins this game outright. But haven't bet it yet. Lean Eastern Kentucky first half and lean Eastern Kentucky first half and lean first half under.
I'm going to take that lean further. I'm going to bet Eastern Kentucky first half. I like them coming off those 2 losses. I think that they're at home now, and it's just an absolute smash and grab. Now, I'm only going to take them first half. I'm not going to take them full game too, but I think this is a nice spot. We stay in the ASUN quarters. Queens University, 14-18, 7-9 in conference. At Stetson, 19-12, and 11-5 in conference. Here we go in the Edmonds Center. Let's take a look at the situation here for this one. We have a Queens who've won 2 straight. They lost at Florida Gulf Coast and then went in Florida Gulf Coast and beat them. They won 83-75 at Stetson not long ago. It was an important victory for them. Stetson was rolling at the time. Stetson's just 1 game behind Eastern Kentucky and tied with Lipscomb. Stetson coming off that loss at North Florida on Friday. We were all on North Florida. Or Bobano and I should, and a bunch of you guys did join us. So they lose. So Queens wins at Stetson 83-75, and they lost at home to Stetson 84-66 back on January 12th. This Queens team won 4 of their last 5 basketball games. Is this just an improving squad? Or was Stetson kind of lightening up down the stretch? It does feel like that Queens was on the way up, whereas Stetson was sort of on the way down. Let's see what the line history tells us. It tells us that Stetson is live. -3 opener, now up to -5. A 2-point move towards Stetson. And then a total standpoint here. 2-point move towards Stetson. So they're saying that it's nothing to do with Queens improving, that Stetson will show their class here. From a total standpoint, we have very high, 159.5. This opened up at 160. The initial move was up. It went up to 162. And then when we get to the cash flow here for this spot, we have 77% of the tickets and 76% of the cash on Stetson, line moving towards them. And then 83% of the tickets, but just 38% cash on the under. Take it away, Pete. Queens, Stetson, any interest?
No opinion on the side. Lean to the under, but no real opinion on the side. Wouldn't be surprising if Stetson rolls. Wouldn't be surprising if Queens wins again outright and winds up being a team that makes the finals, winning every game. Lean under though.
So what's keeping you off of backing Stetson is you think that Queens was improving down the stretch. It was legitimate. Teams sort of moving in 2 different directions.
The main thing that's keeping me off it is I don't know who the fuck these teams are, but no, I'm kidding. I do know who they are, but I don't have a good read on their momentum. Although, you know what? I will take a shot with the first half under 76 -116 current line of Pinnacle. I will maybe shop around a little bit, but yeah, Queens. I mean, it's understandable why full year this would be where it is, but I'm going to take. And I like the full game under as well. I'll take the first half under 76 -116. I don't know if I want to double up because it could be in the stratosphere, but yeah, I will take that one. 76 -116, first half under.
Justin McKelvey saying Queens University not allowed in the tournament. They playing their hearts out, to win the conference, to send a message. Interesting angle. I don't need to move on it. Okay, so that concludes all of our 6 and 7 p.m. conference tournament action. We now move on to 7 p.m. ranked spots. So we start with the number 3 ranked Purdue Boilermakers, 26-3, 15-3 in the Big Ten. At the number 12 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini, 22-7.
Sorry, Jim. Actually, you know what? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I'll take the full game under as well. 159.5 minus 116. I'll take the full game too. I'll double it.
Illinois money line is BJ's best bet. So I just wanted to go up there and grab that. That's Illinois money line. Sorry, what did you get on the full game under, Pete?
Sorry, I'm going to take the Heritage line, 111. Under 159.5 minus 111.
Under 159.5 minus 111. There's DC Capper in the house. All these things. Stetson Ozum says we're getting right tonight. All right, let's move on with some big boy basketball at State Farm Center in Champaign, Illinois. Purdue's won 3 straight. It didn't look great at home versus Michigan State, winning 80-74. It didn't look great in the at Michigan and at home in Michigan State spot, but they had destroyed Rutgers previously. They bounced back with that loss at Ohio State. So here we go. Purdue at the top of the ledger. They are 2 games up on the Illini, who have also won 3 straight basketball games. Let's get into the line. Let's get into the line history here and talk about when these teams met the first time. They've only met obviously the one time this year, and it was an 83-78 victory for Purdue at home. So do the Illini have something for the Boilermakers in this one? Of course, Purdue out-rebounded Illinois badly in that one, 43-28. And let's roll into the line history. So here we go. Line history for this one. Big game here. We have the total sitting at 163.5. It opened up at 168. So we have just a huge move to the under. Then from a point spread situation, we have it sitting with Illinois -2 at -113. They opened up at -1. They got up to 3 at 3 in the morning. Then they were right back to 1.5. But here they are at -2. So a move towards the Illini, a 1-point move towards the Illini. Then from a cash flow perspective, come on, show me. Here we go. We have 47% of the tickets and 72% of cash on the over, and then 71% of tickets and 60% of cash on the Illini. And then the question here, is this the last regular season game? It is not. It is not. Purdue plays versus Wisconsin at home on Sunday, and the Illini play Iowa. I believe that's on Sunday as well. Take it away for us here, Pete. Big Ten action with the big boys in play. Floor's yours.
Yeah, Illinois -2, no-brainer. Not saying it's a lock, but it was a no-brainer. A lot of times these no-brainers that aren't great edges, but that are no-brainers to bet, wind up losing, but I'll take it. I bet it. I'll take the Heritage line -2, -107, and I think I'm going to take I'm going to double up. I'm going to take the first half line. Pinnacle has -0.5 at -110, but I'll be a little bit cowardly and safe and take the money line at -122. So I'll double up. Illinois -2, -107, and first half money line -122. Both current lines at Pinnacle.
Yeah, you seem confident. Wine time. And Justin McKelvey already on the over. Wine time looking at the over. North End saying Shannon wasn't in that first game. This is appealing. There's no doubt about that. This is appealing here, especially with the Rebenga and State Farm sending a message. BJ's best bet on it. I find it all extremely appealing, and I expect to join you. Let's move on to our next ranked spot, 7 p.m. Eastern. ACC action at the Deanie Smith Center in Chapel Hill. We have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 12-17, 7-11 in conference. At the number 7 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels 23-6, 15-3 in conference. Notre Dame with 2 straight wins, won 4-5, playing their best basketball of the year. Just 7-11 in conference, but starting to play better. North Carolina had that loss, at Syracuse 86-79. We were on Syracuse. I was only on Syracuse first half in that one, but whatever, we got paid. Or was it first half? I didn't double up, and I wasn't on the money line, but I did cash with Syracuse. I forget exactly how it banged out. But North Carolina's been on a streak since then. They won at home versus Virginia Tech. They won at Virginia by 10. They beat Virginia Tech by 15. They beat Miami by 4, and then they beat NC State by 9 on Saturday. So, and that was a big game, Notre Dame beating Clemson. This team has improved and improved and improved as the season has gone on. Winners of 5 of 6, actually. So here they go. They play North Carolina for the first time this season. The number 7th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. Let's get into the line history then for this one. North Carolina is 16.5-point favorites. I mean, this is just a huge spread. Opened up at 16, and the move was towards Notre Dame. This was down at 15. There was a 1.5 move towards North Carolina 4 minutes ago at BetOnline. So it's now a 0.5-point move towards the Tar Heels. Then from a total side of things, we are sitting with a 138. This opened up at 137.5. Now at 138, 0.5-point move to the over. And then when we get into the cash flow for this big one, we have 43% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on Notre Dame. You know, I get it. They won 5 of 6. I think you'd be surprised if you'd watch Notre Dame beat Clemson that this line is so big. But now we have this 1.5 move to North Carolina. And then we have 87% of tickets, 78% cash on the over. Pistol Pete, do you have a move here with ACC action between Notre Dame and North Carolina?
No, not really. As Paco Healy said, and Notre Dame has been a scrapey dog recently, and UNC, winning but not covering. So my obvious leans would be Notre Dame plus all the points in the under, but I might bet it, but I'm not going to make either official.
All right, then we roll on to SEC action. We head over to Gainesville, Florida for this next spot. The number 16th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, 20-9, 12-4 in the SEC at the Florida Gators, 29, 10-6 in the SEC. Very high total here. We're sitting at 176.5. This opened up at 178.5, dropped down to 175.5. So we have had a point of buyback from a point spread scenario. Come on. Sorry, there's too many screens open here. From a point spread scenario, we are sitting here with Florida. Come on, show up for me. There we go. Florida sitting at -1.5. They opened up at +1. +1. So we've had the dog to favorite move for Florida. Very, very, very interesting. Florida coming off a loss at South Carolina, 82-76 on Saturday. And then Alabama coming off a loss, 81-74 at home versus Tennessee. They've lost 2 of 3 basketball games. So here we go. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I got that on the wrong one. All right, let me move this over. Let's go into the cash flow for this spot. Alabama, Florida. Let me get this up here. God, this is so much. Here we go. Alabama, Florida. We have 42% of tickets and 67% of cash on the under. And then we have 84% of tickets and 82% of cash on Florida, who've gone from dog to favorite. That's a +1 to about a -1.5. Pete, with 84% of tickets and 82% of cash, would you want a bigger move than that, or is the dog to favorite a big enough move? Take it away.
This one, I might have a second half play on this one, or halftime play as of right now. Total pass. Lean Alabama. First game went over, but it needed overtime, and I had that over, and I got lucky when it went overtime and cash. So I'm not on the over here. Pass for me.
Huh. And what is everybody in the chat saying about this Real Deal Prime on Florida? North End said, I think Florida, Illinois go 1-1. Justin McKelvey just moved on Bama. Jake Burns on Florida and Illinois moneyline parlay. Okay. Both teams coming off of losses. Okay. I guess I can stay off of that spot there. Okay, let's roll on. Next up for us, we head to Tampa, Florida. Tulane Green Wave, 13-15, 4-12 in the American at the number 24 ranked South Florida Bulls, 22-5, 5-1 in the American. We have Tulane in the throes of a real losing streak. We had them against North Texas. They lost 80-76 as 2-point dogs at home. They came back and lost 79-73 at Florida Atlantic, and South Florida just winning basketball games and looking good doing it. Let's see where what happened when these teams met up. Let's go there first and foremost. Against South Florida, they have not played. South Florida, so there takes off one angle. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow. Move this over here. From a line history standpoint, we have, come on, please. Sorry, too far here. And we have South Florida right now as 7.5-point favorites. That's where they opened. There's been a 5-cent move towards Tulane. So 7.5. From a total side of things, we are dealing with a 156.5. This opened up at 156, so it's a half-point move towards the over. And then cash flow, we have 16% of the tickets and 48% of the cash on Tulane. 16 and 48, 80% of the tickets, 97% cash on the over. Interesting. What do you think of this spot here? Market kind of indicating that Tulane could stay in this basketball game, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, South Florida ranked. They've clinched the conference championship, the regular season conference championship. I actually took the under. I took it at 155.5. Now it's gone up, but we'll see where it closes. Who knows? And I will not be afraid of the. I won't say I like it more, but I'll take it officially, and I'll take market line 156.5 minus 110. Tulane, South Florida under 156.5 minus 110. Lots of places there.
And free bet on the side. Do you feel that clinch could?
Yes, definitely Tulane.
Well,
I guess I'm a little bit gun shy because I took Charlotte in their last game against South Florida and lost there. So definitely Tulane, though. Lean Tulane.
And if you were doing that, if you were going to move on Tulane, would you prefer a first half or would you be looking at the full game situation?
You asked so many the good question. I don't really. That's a good question. I would probably just split it. I take full game. I guess full game. Full game.
Okay, full game spot. Billy Friedrich found you the under 157. Let's give you that 157 at minus 108. Our guy
minus 157, minus 108.
That's right.
Oh, you get a steak, Billy Friedrich.
All right, let's roll on here. So those are all the 7 p.m. ranked games. Again, we're going to review all action, but that is all of the ranked spots here. Come on. Okay. Next up, we move to 8 p.m. We have the Horizon League Championship first round. Detroit Mercy still got an invite. 1-30, 1-19 in conference at Milwaukee. 17-14, 12-8 in conference. We are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for this one, popping off at 8 p.m. Let me just get this over here, and here we go. Horizon League first round. We have this Detroit Mercy team, losers of 4 straight, and of course 30 of 31. Basque won 3 straight. They did bounce back from that home loss to Youngstown State in overtime. They beat a good PFW squad by 8, went to IUPI, won by 5, and then beat Green Bay at home 90-69 on Saturday. Just a smash and grab there. And these teams have faced each other twice. Of course, Milwaukee victories. In Detroit, 84-61 Milwaukee win. They won by 23. And then when they went over to Milwaukee, an 87-71 win on January 25th. Let's get into the line history here for this one and see what Pete's thoughts are. This total is sitting at 152.5. It opened up at 151.5. So we have a 1-point move to the over. And then from a spread perspective, this one is, here we go. This one is sitting at, 11.5. 11.5 juice towards Detroit Mercy. This opened up at 13. We've had a 1.5-point move to Detroit Mercy, and that happened this morning. A 1.5-point move to the 1-30 Detroit Mercy. What are they, the Titans? We have... from a cash flow standpoint, you have 75% of tickets and 97% of cash on the under, and then 7% of the tickets and 7% of cash on Detroit Mercy, and it's moved. The lines moved towards them. Do you have any interest in backing this 1-30 squad, Pete?
No, but I'll throw a little bit on the first half under 72.5 minus 109. Normally I would not do that, but because of the situation, Milwaukee can't have lower scoring games. This one I don't really like, but I can't not throw it on. So I'll use the Heritage line. First half under 72.5 minus 109. Don't love it, but I'll include it.
Under 72.5 minus 109. Andrew G says, who is hammering Detroit Mercy basketball? Oh, by the way, yes, the pig milk and smooth balls. Thank you. I'm moving a little too fast. Agree on that USF look. Of course, I forgot about that. Let me just go back up to that and remind myself exactly of South Florida minus 7.5 is the pig milk play of the day. And the smooth balls play today is South Florida minus 6.5. Oh, thank God for mentioning that. Why would I want to go up against those two spots? So our guys who are dropping their plays today that are so hot believe that it doesn't matter that South Florida's clinched, that they're going to take care of business against Tulane.
Sure. And I did not bet that. That would be my lean.
I was going to bet Tulane now until you guys said that. So thank you. Thank you. That will stop me in my tracks. So thank you for reminding me of that. Remember, we're going very quick here, so please jump in if we're missing a play of the day. Okay, next up, we head back to the A-Sun. North Florida, very good to me on Friday. 16-15, 9-7 in conference. Did I miss one? No. No. At Austin P, 17-14, 10-6 in conference. We're in Clarksville, Tennessee for this one. Round 1 of the A-Sun Championship. North Florida, beat up on Stetson 78-59. They had lost 2 games in a row. Austin P looking good. They have that loss at home to Lipscomb, but other than that, they were, absolutely rolling here. So let's first look and see if the Ospreys have seen these Austin P. And they did 95-91 double overtime loss at Austin P. That's the first time that they met. Wow, a 95-91 double overtime loss at Austin P. And now they face them once again. Wow, Austin P played great basketball in that one. 52.1 from the field, 46.4 from 3, but barely got away with the overtime victory. So let's pull up the line history then for this one, North Florida, Austin P. We're sitting with Austin P as 2.5 point favorites. 2.5 point favorites. This opened up at 4, a 1.5 point move towards North Florida. Then from a total side of things, we are sitting with, get over here, we are sitting with a 144.5. This opened up at 147, so we've had a 143.5. It just dropped 7 minutes ago, so a 3.5 point move towards the under. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, 67% of tickets and 49% of the cash on Austin P. North Florida is 33-51. People believing in this North Florida squad after that big win. 40% of tickets, 73% of cash on the under. There's our guy Piker in the house. Man, we miss you, Piker. We got to get you back in action. But here, the market telling me that North Florida is live here in the quarterfinal of the A-Sun Championship. Do you agree, Pete?
I mean, free play, I would throw it on that, but no bet on this one. But sure, lean North Florida, lean under, but no bets for me.
Lean North Florida and a lean towards the under. Okay, we stay in the A-Sun for the next spot on the board. The North Alabama Lions. 14-16, 8-8 in the A-Sun. At the Lipscomb Bisons, 20-11, 11-5 in the A-Sun. Now, they won 75-70 at home versus Lipscomb. They lost earlier in the year, 88-79 at Lipscomb. So 1-1 thus far between these two squads. North Alabama was in throes of a 3-game losing streak before beating Central Arkansas in Central Arkansas 82-78 on Friday. And then Lipscomb 4 straight wins, and they smash and grabbed Eastern Kentucky to finish off the year. Now, Eastern Kentucky had already clinched, so it wasn't a big deal for them. I should have been on that Lipscomb spot. That's still eating at me. So that's the situation. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have this total sitting at 158. Now, it's not a real 158. It's just to minus 130 to the under. Oh, wow. Okay, it just moved. Sorry. We just had a big move to the over. Wow. So that just went from under 158 minus 130 to under 158 minus 105. That was 8 minutes ago. So a big move to the over. A 25-cent move to the over just happened. Then from a spread perspective, we have this sitting at, this is so hard. Sorry. We have it sitting at 7. North Alabama, 7-point dogs. They opened up as 8-point dogs, a 1-point move towards North Alabama. And then 83% of tickets on the under. We have no help with the cash. 54% of tickets and 83% of cash on North Alabama to stay in this basketball game. Justin McKelvey on Lipscomb plus 300 to win the A-Sun. What do you think of North Alabama here in this spot? Pete, take it away.
Yeah, I'm kind of high on Lipscomb in general right now, so maybe I'd have to look into it a little bit more, but definitely leaning Lipscomb and first half. Don't know if I want to make that official, though.
Wow, I feel like the market is indicating that North Alabama will be in this basketball game. It's just how well Lipscomb played down the stretch. You think they just carry it over here? Because they lost, their last loss was, at North Alabama.
Sure.
So you think there's Rebenga here? And
no, I mean, I just think that, I'm probably going to bet Lipscomb first half, and then if they're down first half or tied, I might or probably will put a bet on them second half, but I don't want to make anything official, but definitely leaning Lipscomb.
Okay, well, let's head to the Sun Belt then for the next spot on the board. 8:30 p.m. action, Sun Belt first round. This will be our last conference game. Then we have 4 ranked teams, and then we get into NBA. So we're almost done the college basketball card. Thank you for rolling with us here. Loshak in the Bag on Pub Sports Radio, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Old Dominion Monarchs, 7-24, 3-15 in conference at the Texas State Bobcats, 14-17, 7-11 in conference. This tournament taking place in Pensacola, Florida. So these are the 2 games at Pensacola tonight. We already talked about the first one. So this is the second one. Texas State, winners of 3 straight. Old Dominion finished off losing 2 games. They did win at home versus Coastal Carolina, beat them up badly 3 games ago. But, Texas State got better and better, and Old Dominion seemed to do very little improvement as the season went along. So then what happened when these teams played each other and they did not? So we have no Rebenga, no nothing. Let's get into the line history here for this 8:30 p.m. start. We have Texas State right now is 3-point favorites. They opened up as 4.5-point favorites. So we have a 1.5-point move to this very weak Old Dominion team. That is a fascinating move. Then from a total side of things here, we have it sitting at 137.5. It opened up at 136.5. It got up to 138 before there's a little bit of buyback. And then cash flow for this one, we have 15% of the tickets and 17% of the cash on the Old Dominion, and the line's moving towards them. Wow. 73% of tickets and 95% of cash on the under. Justin McKelvey says Texas State -3 on his card. Loopy on Texas State. Billy Friedrich says Texas State will roll them. Why in the world would the line be moving towards Old Dominion? Pete, do you have any answers?
Might be some inside information of some sort, but I'm off this game.
Wow. Okay, I've got to look further into this. ODU. DC Capper on Texas State. Wow. This is a fascinating line move. Opening up their arms, the books are, to Texas State money. Okay, we have 4 ranked squads here, and then we will review all action. The next 3 games start at 9 p.m., and then we have the D-Gen special at 11 p.m. So let's roll. Next up for us, we have the Auburn Tigers, number 13th ranked Auburn Tigers, 22-7, 11-5 in the SEC, at the Missouri Tigers, 8-21, 0-16 in conference. We're at Mizzou Arena in Columbia, Missouri. As you know, Missouri is just losing and losing and losing. Auburn bounced back from that loss at Tennessee. We were on Tennessee in that spot. That was a bad night for me, but Tennessee did cover. And then we have a win 78-63 at home over Mississippi State. So Auburn bounced back, but it's the road that hasn't been too kind. Now, they did beat Georgia on the road and South Carolina. Maybe being hard, but that loss at Florida. They've lost 2 of their last 4. They also lost at Mississippi State. They lost at Alabama. So they've been okay on the road, and they have yet to face this lowly Missouri Tiger squad. On the other side of things for Missouri, just loss after loss after loss, coming off a home loss, 84-78 versus Ole Miss. Let's get into the line history here. What's the juice? My guy, the juice saying, he says, all right, move over here. Unreal how Mizzou does not have a conference win. But the juice on Mizzou and Justin McKelvey also on Missouri plus 12. I have made one bet on Missouri this year, and they cashed for me. Here we go. They didn't win, but they covered, obviously. 150.5 was the opener. This is down to 149. From a point spread standpoint here, we are sitting with this at the spot here, 9 p.m. at plus 12 at Bet Online. It's 11.5 at other spots. This got down to 10.5 at midnight. So there had been a 2-point move towards Missouri, and it's back at 12 now. So a half-point move towards Missouri. When we take a look at the cash flow then for this one, we have 20% of tickets and 92% of cash on the under, and then 15% of tickets and 82% of cash on Missouri. Thank you, Steve G. I needed it bad, man. I got to keep it rolling, man. Got to keep it rolling. Take it away here for us, Pete. Auburn, Missouri. Is this a chance to back this pig? Do we put lipstick on the pig of the Missouri Tigers?
Yeah, I definitely lean Missouri, and I like the under as well. I'll make the under an official play. I think 149 is still a market line, so I'll take Auburn, Missouri, under 149, minus 110. That's an official play. Definitely lean Missouri as well. And lean first half under too, but just do full game for now.
Under 149, what was the juice?
Minus 110.
Minus 110. In this spot, for me, I've been taking these teams at this number in first half, not full game. And it's been more successful for me. Is that something that you would follow in this situation?
Yes, and I think I probably will. Let me search for a line, and I will join you on that one. Let me see. I'll take the Pinnacle line plus 7 minus 114. I'll take Missouri first half plus 7 minus 114 official play.
Missouri first half plus 7 minus 114, and the under 149 at minus 103.
Actually, no, Caesar's 105. That's not. I guess that's okay.
No, we got you at minus 103. Billy Friedrich got you at minus 103.
This is all bad, but okay. The market, as I give my opinion, the market moving in the opposite direction as I speak, but that's all right. On 149 minus 103, I'll take it. And first half plus 7 minus 114 current line Pinnacle.
Billy Friedrich is doubling up on Auburn, though. First half of the full game says Mizzou isn't that team to give Auburn problems. I'm very interested in joining you on Missouri first half, but with Billy saying that, I'm going to need to take a little bit more time. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. 9 p.m. Eastern, Kansas State Wildcats 17-12, 7-9 in conference at the number 14 ranked Kansas Jayhawks 21-8, 9-7 in conference. We're in the Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas for this one. Kansas State coming off that 74-72 loss at Cincinnati on Saturday. Kansas has lost back-to-back games. They lost at home to BYU. They didn't look good in that one. That was on the heels of destroying Texas. And then they lost at Baylor 82-74. So here we have Kansas losers of 2 straight, losers of 3 of their last 5, and Kansas State also losers of 3 of their last 5. Let's take a look at the spot when these two teams played each other. It was just a phenomenal basketball game, if you guys remember it. A 75-70 overtime win for Kansas State at home. So the question is this the perfect situation for Kansas to find Rebenga? Let's take a look at the line history here. Let's see what Billy's saying. Kansas wins, but 10.5 is a lot in a rivalry game. Loopy on the Kansas State plus 10.5. Rocco Rogers is on that minus 10 for Kansas. So here we go. Line history wise, this is sitting now at 12. Kansas is 12-point favorites. They opened up at 10, now 12-point favorites. Is this just an absolute smash and grab? Because that is what the market is telling us. From a total standpoint, we have Kansas sitting this game sitting at 143. 143. This opened up at 137.5. Just a huge move to the over. And then cash-wise for this one, 41% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on Kansas. Totals-wise, 45% of tickets, 47% cash on the over. The juice says Jayhawks are going to kill them tonight. Says Kansas revenge spot, also coming off 2 losses. They're going to take out their frustrations on the Wildcats. Wow. Shout out to my guy Foxy in the house. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete Loshak. Wildcats, Jayhawks, big rivalry spot in Lawrence.
Okay, first of all, I am going to want to double up on the Auburn Missouri under. I'll take the first half. I'll quote you a line later. This one, the Kansas State game, I took a. Oh wait, this is Kansas State. Oh right, yeah, total pass, complete pass. Kansas State won the last game. It's a huge line. Kansas with revenge. The complete pass. Doubt I'll even make a second half play on this one.
So you didn't have interest in Kansas first half bouncing back here and sending a message after losing twice.
I have no interest.
And what
I
is
don't
it
even
that,
care if Daddy Cab loves something in this game. I'm off of it.
But what is it exactly that made you uncomfortable, if I can ask, because I'm thinking of moving on it?
Because it's Kansas is not good enough to be that big of a favorite, right? But it's a rivalry game. So when you have like a big dog in a rivalry game, you want to bet them. When you have a big favorite in a rivalry game that shouldn't be that big of a favorite, what do? I don't know. Maybe Dabby Cap does know, but whatever he's doing, I hope he wins. I'm not going to tail it. Crazy game, Jim. Same thing with the total as well.
Wow. Okay. I will put question marks beside it. Then it won't be asterisks. We'll go over the ones that are full asterisks, and I'll tell you the ones that I'm sort of thinking about here. 2 games left on this college basketball card before we get into the 9-game NBA card, which will be a lot smoother. We have action in the A10, the number 25 ranked Dayton Flyers, 22-6, 12-4 in conference. At St. Louis Billikens, 11-18, 4-12 in conference. We're in St. Louis, Missouri for this one. Dayton coming off losing to Loyola Chicago. A lot of you guys were on Loyola Chicago. That was on Friday. I wish I had joined you. God, it was a great cap of the card that day. Going 4-3 makes me want to smash something. Dayton's lost 2 of their last 3 games. They're now 2 games back of Richmond, 1 game back of Loyola Chicago. This should be an angry group. St. Louis has won 2 of their last 3. They lost at home to Richmond 80-64, but bounced back with the 94-91 win at Rhode Island. Dayton at St. Louis is the situation. These teams played each other in it was a tight game, 70-65 for Dayton at St. Louis. Dayton did not play very well. They shot 28.6% from 3. They were 11.5-point favorites. They were losing at halftime. I mean, they were losing 4 minutes into the second half. Let's get into the line history then for this one. We have Dayton, the total at 151 minus 108 to the over. This opened up at 154.5. That's a 3.5-point move towards the over. And from a point spread scenario, we have, I'm going to get back down here. We have Dayton at minus 9.5. That's juice to them. There are 10s on the board. This opened up at 10.5. So there was a 2-point move towards St. Louis. Now just a 1-point move. Very interesting. Cash flow wise here, we have 98% of the tickets on the under. We don't have any help with the cash, but 98% of the tickets are on the under. I mean, that just seems ridiculous. Then we have 39% of the tickets and 79% of the cash on the St. Louis Billikens. I guess they're just saying that it doesn't matter that Dayton's so angry. This is a fascinating spot. Take it away for us here, Pete. Dayton Flyers, St. Louis Billikens.
Yeah, when it came out, I hit the under and St. Louis. I still like the under, and I think I'm going to take St. Louis first half as an official play. And as far as I don't necessarily want to double up on the total, so I'm not doing so much line chopping, but I'll take the under 151 minus 109. I believe that's a line at Heritage or Pinnacle, one of the places. And I will take St. Louis first half. Pinnacle has 5.5 minus 110, but I'll do a little bit of a weak safe play, and I'll take 6 minus 120. So St. Louis first half plus 6 minus 120, and the under 151 minus 109.
Plus 6 at minus 120 for
first half,
St. Louis first half. And what under 51 at what?
151 minus 109.
So the thing that just doesn't – everything correlates in this spot.
Oh, no, sorry. I'll say 151 minus 106. That's a Pinnacle. Give me that one. 106.
151 minus 1. Everything correlates in this spot from a market standpoint on the Billikens, but – am I supposed to sit here and think that Dayton does not bounce back on the road after losing their last 2 road games? I mean, they lose George Mason, they lose at Loyola Chicago. I find it, and so I guess what's the idea? The idea here being that Dayton has 2 games left; they're 2 games back. I mean, could this be a look ahead spot at home versus VCU? No, I mean Huh.
I think it's a look ahead spot to the tournament, a look ahead spot to the NCAA tournament, and St. Louis is a scrapey team, as Paco Healy might say, just like Notre Dame. I could be wrong. Ask Abby Cab. Don't be asking me for it, but yeah, I'm taking both of those.
When did we start using the term scrapey instead of scrappy? Just interesting.
Scrappy? Well, because, if Paco Healy had meant scrappy, he would have typed scrappy. He typed scrapey, so that's what I'm assuming he meant.
All right. Then we will move right on. So, a team that's ready to scrape you at any time.
Yeah.
We move on to the final game on the board. Let's see if any of these teams will get their knees scraped. The number 21 ranked San Diego State Aztecs, 22-7, 11-5 in conference. At the UNLV Rebels, 18-10, 11-5 in conference. We're at Thomas Mack Center, home of the running Rebels. San Diego State's won their last two games. Didn't look very good, beating San Jose State at home. Destroyed Fresno on the road. So UNLV's won 4 straight. UNLV playing good basketball. These teams are both 11-5 in conference. They're both tied with Nevada. All three are one game back of Utah State and Boise State. Let's take a look and see what happened when these teams met. And it was a 72-61 victory for San Diego State at home over UNLV. So is there Rebenga here in this one? From a line history standpoint, we have UNLV plus 2.5. They opened up at 2. It went down to 1, now 2.5. So we have a half-point move towards San Diego State. And then from a total standpoint here, oh, come on, please. Last game on the board, work for me. From a total standpoint here, we are dealing with a 135. This opened up at 136. We have a 1-point move to the under. And then cash flow, we have 58% of tickets, 80% of cash on UNLV, 50 and 80. Well, then why did it just move a half point? Now, I know it initially had moved to UNLV, but now we're moving back to San Diego State. 75% of tickets, 84% cash on the under. Take it away, Pistol Pete Loshak. Justin McKelvey is San Diego State minus 109 on the card. Paco Healy saying tough road spot. And DC Capper like in Kansas in that spot. The Juice says, give me the Aztecs. Take it away for us here. Oh, and Rocco saying he wants San Diego State here, but this could be a statement game as of now staying off. I know they'll want the game Friday too, but I don't think they look ahead. And Piker says Jose puts the rapey and scrapey.
Yeah. He also says, I'm like, if ISIS had a baseball team. Yeah, I am an ISIS, but you know what? I'm a nice guy and a good person. So cut me a break, okay?
Yeah. I think ISIS. Remember, he looks like a taxi driver in Kabul.
Yeah, I am an ISIS. Judge me.
No, let's not do that.
People judge me because I'm an ISIS left and right.
Let's not do that.
They're nice guys.
Take it away, Pete. Aztecs Rebels.
Yeah, I'm kidding. That was not a good joke to make, and I take it back. All right.
It was all good. It was all good until the nice guys. The final line that might have upset a couple people.
All right, if we get canceled, we get canceled. I took UNLV and the under. I don't quite understand why the line is going in the other direction. I mean, San Diego State does not really beat good teams on the road. I don't know. I don't get it, but I will. I'll make one thing official. I'll take UNLV first half plus a half minus 110. Current line of Pinnacle official. I like them full game too. I don't know if I want to double up.
The Juice saying this is not a look ahead spot for the Aztecs. It's a big game for both teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's review all action. Pete, please listen closely when I go over yours just to make sure that I have not missed anything. And great job capping the card, everybody in the chat, and Pistol Pete as well.
I also want to add on a couple of bets from other games, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes. We're going to go to the additions here in a second. So
okay.
Let's
go ahead.
Here.
Sure.
Here we go. So here we go. Sorry. Holy Cross Army. Loshak's on the first half under 61, and he's on Holy Cross first half plus 3.5. I'm joining him on Holy Cross. Loshak's on the first half. Oh, I've missed the number. What was your first half under in Coastal Carolina, UL Monroe?
68.5 minus 114.
Under 68.5 minus 4. I'm going to be on Coastal Carolina. Then Patriot League Championship, Loyola Maryland, or first round, obviously. Loyola Maryland Navy, we are off. IUPUI, Cleveland State, we are off. I am going to be on Robert Morris first half. I'm going to be on Eastern Kentucky first half. Loshak gets back to business in Queens. Stetson first half under 76 and full game under 159.5. I'm interested in Stetson question marks though. Loshak's on Illinois first half and full game -2. I'm going to be on the Illini with you. Notre Dame, North Carolina, we are off. Alabama, Florida off. You are on the under 157 at -108. I'm going to take off Tulane. I'm not going to go up against these best bets from Billy and smooth balls play of the day either. Loshak first half under 72.5 in Detroit, Milwaukee. I'm going to be on North Florida. I have some interest in North Alabama, but that's got question marks. I'm going to be on ODU, but I know you guys are all on Texas State, so I will put a couple question marks there. But it's one of those spots where it doesn't make sense. And those have been quite profitable for me, fading the spot that it doesn't make sense. They're not bigger favorites and line's not moving towards them. Then Loshak, Auburn, Missouri, first half under, and Missouri first half. I'll be with you on the first half. I have some interest in Kansas first half, but question marks around it. Loshak's on the under 51 and St. Louis first half +6, and then he's on UNLV first half +0.5. Pete, did I miss anything? And time for college basketball editions.
Yeah, no, not really. I probably want to put on UNLV double up, but I'll just take the first half. We're running late. So, yeah, bunch of stuff I want to add on here. Well, not a bunch, a few things.
Fire away.
All right, going down first of all, I wanted to take Akron first half, but that line is really moved. But what the hell? I'll throw it on any. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my Lord. All right, I'll take it anyway. First half -13, -114. Eastern Michigan has injuries. They're really cooked. That's a pinnacle line. I'll take that one, though. Akron, first half -13, -114. That's an official bet there, okay?
-13 at -114. I don't mean to get you off your rhythm, but Piker said he's going to kiss you right on your Lipscomb. That's what he said.
Okay.
Kiss you right on your Lipscomb.
Okay. And if anyone wants to judge him for that, go ahead. We don't judge here at Pub Sports Radio.
Oh, I respect that. What's next for you?
Okay, then I kind of want to take VCU, but Duquesne is not a team that I like to fade right now, so I guess I'm going to – and 5.5 is kind of a lot. Oh, shit, I'm seeing -110. I should probably take the 120 at 12.5, but give me 110. That's a heritage line, okay? Akron, -110, okay?
You got it. Akron -13, right, so, first half -110.
Yeah, Duquesne's going to be a pass. I saw that Poe guy say Western Michigan was a good bet. And I like that as well. I don't know why the line is so low, really. But all right, we can throw that one on. -1.5, -108. Western Michigan Western Michigan full game -1.5, -108. Add that one on, Jimmy the Bag. Then going down the line. I'm walking down the line. Georgia. I want Georgia first half and full game. Georgia has had a bunch of tough assignments at home, and I think that they will get this one. I thought they were going to get the last one, and they didn't, but I will take it again. Georgia first half and Georgia full game. I don't want to lie. Pinnacle has 2 -115. I'm sure there's some 110s. Can we just give me that?
First half -2, -1.
No, full game -2, -110. I'm sure Caesars has it. Full game -2, -110, and I want to yes, Caesars has full game -2, -110, and I also want to double up first half -1, -110. Georgia first half -1, -110. Okay,
and I will be reviewing all these after the show too to see if they correlate. But first, shout out to Jason Meyer, aka the El Dorado Custodian. So shout out to the capper on Cornell -4 on Friday, cashing a 4-teamer. We love you, El Dorado. Thank you, my friend. Okay, keep rolling.
Okay, very, very nice. Keep going. I hit the over in Harvard-Dartmouth, but that's now all the way up to 136, which tells me that I was probably on the right side. I got 133.5. You know what? I'll hit the first half over anyway. 64 -110. Current line of Pinnacle. Harvard, Dartmouth. First half over 64 -110. Official play. I still like the full game over as well, but I won't double up. But I do like that, and I did hit it. Going down the line. Let's see. Just want to make sure that I got everything. Yeah, I hit the under in Cincinnati, Oklahoma, but that's probably not something. I did also take Oklahoma State, at 2.5. I should probably take the money line at plus 120, but I'll just take the spread. Oklahoma State full game plus 2.5 minus 110, and I really should take the first half as well because Texas Tech, after coming back in the last game, let me see what the first half is. Handicap first half, Oklahoma State. Ooh, wow, look at that. Yeah, plus 1 minus 110. Look at that. All right, I will take. I'll take Oklahoma State first half plus 1 minus 116. Current line at Pinnacle. Oklahoma State first half plus 1 minus 116. So first half plus 1 minus 116 and full game plus 2.5 minus 110. I should probably take the money lines, but we'll move on. Brisk pace, going down the line here, and that's it, Jimmy the Bag.
All right, we have 7 editions, double ups. Georgia first half minus 1, full game minus 2. Oklahoma State first half plus 1. Full game plus 2.5. Harvard Dartmouth first half over 64. Western Michigan minus 1.5 minus 108. And Akron first half minus 13 at minus 110. That concludes our college basketball action for Tuesday, March 5th. Now, when the show's over, I will lock in, and so I will, after I make the bets, I'll put out on Twitter exactly what I bet.
Loopy Y2U says Loshak sounds like the last Muppet name they deleted. Back when I was younger and I had this look, I would do an impression of the animal for people. It was quite good. I look like a Muppet a little bit. Thank you, Loopy. I take that as a massive compliment. Massive compliment.
Are you going to give us a taste, man?
Yeah, dude. I haven't watched the fucking Muppets in like 20 years, man.
You can't pull out your hot crack pipe and not give us a taste.
I'll right now I've got so much college basketball bouncing around in my head and all these fucking NHL props. I don't have room for anything else at the exact moment, but I'll try to accommodate later on.
Jesus Christ. There's my guy Chang Kim in the house. Says, what's your top plays, Jimmy Loshak? I'm gonna drop 100 on both you, my boys. I've not been delivering for Chang now. That's twice in a row because last time he was with us on Tuesday, you gave Syracuse, I gave the Canucks, and that was the bottom of the barrel here. So I want now you delivered last time, but I need to for Chang. So I know what I'm going to do here, I believe. So Chang, so we got to give him a parlay, a money line parlay, or it doesn't have to be money line, but for my guy Chang here. So by the end of the show, we will do that for you.
I got 50 fucking okay. Illinois -2, or if you want to add the money line, go for that.
Okay, so then Illinois. God, do I put it in the? God, I like the Oilers so much, but.
Oh, I see what Saturated said. I didn't say that just because Saturated said that. I was just like, all right, I'll throw it in. Big game. You can get money down on it. This feels good. I'll take it.
I've got to decide between whether it's the Islanders or the Oilers. But Illinois money line tied with either the Oilers or the Islanders. I guess it's the Islanders. Illinois, New York Islanders money line parlay. Okay, let's roll on. Pete, we head into NBA, and I had completely fallen apart in NBA. We had a really strong week, so we're moving back in the right direction. But I had a really, really rough run here. Let me pull up I know I don't have the regular records because we're only doing the records here on our show that we have together on these Tuesdays. But it was a crucial bounce back for me. I'm a little more comfortable talking about this because I had an 8-game winning streak that was snapped by the Raptors +3 on Friday, which was a late edition. I could be sitting here with 8 winners in a row, but it was a crucial bounce back. I mean, this is what makes capping so hard to handle. I had a good season. I was up, double-digit units. Then I fall apart. I fall apart early, and then I'm kind of bouncing. And then I lose 14 straight basketball games. So winning 8 straight does not get me back on the straight and narrow, but I feel like we're seeing things clearly. So let's get to work.
Jose, you want to clip that, and I'll write a song parody of "Hard to Handle" about that. Consider it done and done.
We have a new song. Let me get the Loshak songs right now. I've been writing down Loshak songs for years. Here, I got my worksheet here. Where is it? Loshak songs right there. Loshak songs. Maxey ruled out with a concussion, so it's hard to handle, Pete?
Hard to handle, baby.
Okay. All right, let's roll here.
Go ahead. Let's go. NBA, baby. Let's go.
Maxey ruled out with a concussion, but let's roll, Pete. You lead the way here, and I will roll.
All right. Again, I'm not fully prepared for this because I spent so much time on the on college basketball last night, and then NBA player props. There were a few bets that I hit automatically. I'll tell you, I hit the Cleveland under, Miami under, and the Brooklyn Nets under. Those are 3 bets that I definitely hit automatically. First game though, Orlando and Charlotte. Let's see. Yeah, Orlando obviously, going under, covering. Charlotte, also covering, also going under. I don't really know. Such a low total here. Don't really want to bet against Orlando, but can't really bet against Charlotte getting this many points at home. Pass for me as of right now.
Well, if you watched the Charlotte Hornets Toronto Raptors game, you would realize that those teams are absolute trash. Bad basketball teams right now. Magic 35-26, 14-18 on the road. Hornets 15-46, 8-22 home at Spectrum Center, Charlotte, North Carolina. Orlando 5-1 post All-Star break, playing at a very slow pace. They've slowed it completely down, 95.42 possessions a game. Charlotte 2-5. They've also slowed things way down, 96.57 possessions a game. So both teams playing very slowly. Let's get into the line history here on the spread. We're going to go back to Pinnacle for these moves. Orlando right now -8.5. They opened up -8.5, -105. They're now -8.5, 107. So there's been no movement there. From a total side of things, we are sitting with a 207.5, -109 to the over. This opened up at 209. It's dropped a 1.5 down to 207.5. Then cash flow. We have 36% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on Orlando, but the line's not moving towards them. 73% of the tickets and 95% cash on the under. That is where we do see the line moving. Magic -8.5 for Troy Torrance. He is on that. Also got a big money line parlay there. Magic, Celtics, Pelicans. Magic coming off their third straight win, 113-91 at home versus the Pistons on Sunday. The Hornets coming off their fourth straight loss, 111-106 at the Raptors on Sunday. Brandon Miller, first career double-double, 26 and 10 boards, but Cody Martin, Nick Richards, out. Seth Curry, nowhere to be found. I don't want a big road favorite at all. Saturate says he wants to take the under, but 207 is such a low number.
Yeah.
And Kelly McInnes says, oh, look, the horses are beginning to head towards the gate. We have a huge gold race, 2 minutes here at the end of the show. I don't really find anything too appealing. Troy Torrance is big road favorites, total less than 220, market moving to the under, perfect market to back the favorite. Bo says Hornets are live, but hard to trust them. Do I want to back Orlando after smashing a horrible Pistons team at home on Sunday? No, I don't want either. I don't want anything here. I don't. Old E says get your beach chairs ready because the Magic going to fold. Yeah, this doesn't appeal to me. I guess after watching how bad the Hornets are, it'd be Magic or nothing. But I'm comfortable not getting involved here.
Okay, moving on. Next game on the card, Boston, Cleveland. I hit the under here, just small. Boston, of course, rolling, winning, all by margins. Cleveland lost straight up as a home fave. Awful ATS. So if you think those are going to continue, why would they not? You'd take Boston again, I guess. I just took a shot with the under, got 219, or I think I got 217. Can't remember what I got it. I think it's moved since then. Let me see. Oh, 215.5. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to take that. I got 217 or 217.5. Hit the under. No opinion on this side.
Well, the Cavaliers are completely beaten up. I would like to give one more shout out to Dan Kelly. He has put so much. This is the most money he's ever put in my pocket. Gave us the Bucks to win the Central plus 275 at the All-Star break. Gave us the Magic to win the division at plus 1,000. And that became the easiest hedge in the history of division action because there's only 2 teams. It's not like the Hawks are going to make a run. So I've hedged that. So I get 1,000 if the Magic win, 800 if the Heat win. So that's perfect. He gave us Wemby to lead the league in blocks at plus 1,300 before it went down to plus 290.
Whew.
That went from plus 1,300 to plus 290 before the season started. That's all stuff from Dan Kelly. He's not in the chat here right now, but when this season ends and I get all that money, which I need, I'm going to be very thankful to our friend Dan Kelly. So I'd like to give him a big shout out. Celtics sitting at. Oh,
I'm actually going to invite Dan Kelly to an event in April. He doesn't know about it yet. I'm going to see if right near him, see if he wants to go. So I'm going to try to hang out with him at the end of April.
That's dope. Well, that's not far from me, so let me know because I could run down and meet you guys.
Oh, really?
Boston, yeah, that's not far. That's a 4-hour drive.
And all these. Oh, yeah, you should come. You should come, and I'll be like, this is a thank you for what you did for Jimmy with those picks on my behalf.
Hugely helpful here. -8, -105 the Celtics open at. They're now -8, -108. So here's our second big road favorite at almost the exact same number with the market not moving towards them. From a total side of things here, we're sitting at a 215.5. This opened up at 219. So we've had a big drop on the total. Then we talk about the injuries here. Strus out, Mitchell out. Okoro and Levert game time decisions. Brown and Porzingis game time decisions for the Celtics. So a lot moving there. From a cash flow standpoint, 77% of tickets, 74% of cash on the Celtics. Line's not moving towards them. 75% of tickets and 99% of cash on the under. It's crazy. Boston 5-0 post All-Star break, 19th fastest pace in the league, 96.60 possessions a game. The pace has drastically dropped. The first 2 games after the All-Star break, the pace was very fast. It's dropped across the board. Cleveland 3-4, 96.42 possessions a game. If you think about what things were like, 2 months ago, these would have been the 2 slowest paces in the league. Now they're 19th and 22nd. Celtics coming off demolishing the Warriors 148 for their 11th straight win. Each of their last 6 wins have come by at least 16 points. And here they are on the road against a team that's missing huge pieces in Spider and Strus. And maybe Levert too, not as big as those 2 guys, and they're only 8.5-point favorites, or 8-point favorites. Excuse me. It's just they won 8 straight on the road. The Cavaliers coming off their second loss in 3 games, 107-98 at home over the Knicks on Sunday. And Spider's now been out for 2 games. He's going to miss tonight. Sam Merrill came off the bench, put up 21. They got 19 from Darius Garland, 18 from Jared Allen. Mobley went for 13 and 6. The market's telling us that, like we've seen so often in the past, Pete, a team missing all these big pieces is going to step up and play well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this is going to happen? Bo Jackson on the Cavs first quarter. Troy Torrance says this line implies Jaylen Brown and or Porzingis are out. If they get ruled in, this will be double digits. If ruled out, 6.5 or 7. Wow. So that is a key and crucial information here. Are you going to make the under official, Pete?
No, I got 217. That was probably cutting it close. 215.5 is maybe a little bit too close. I don't know. Yeah. All right, I'll pass. Yeah, I'll pass on it.
Well, I like that look of Cavs first quarter, but I feel like it's irresponsible to make the move. I mean, I guess you're betting that the market's telling you that one of them are going to be out, so you bet that that's going to happen. It's hard for me to do that because of the anger that you'd feel if they're not out. Nasty Nate focusing on the fourth quarter. So I'm going to leave first quarter Cavs here with a question mark. I would find it. Look, I don't want to make a bet that both of them are going to be out, or even that one is going to be out, even though that is saying that will happen. Nasty Nate doesn't think KP is going to be out. He's taking his over in blocks. All right, Pete, let's roll on to the next spot on the board, Sixers Nets.
Okay, this is another one. I hit the under. I think I got 218 or 217. Don't exactly remember what the line is that I got, but it's hold on one second. Let me pull up my notes here. Yeah, I mean the Nets, Back-to-back lost at Memphis. Some sharp guys I know loved Memphis yesterday, and I completely fucking missed it. That was a great call there. And then the Sixers, got that win against Dallas. That was kind of a high-scoring game. But I took a shot with the under, and I think this one I probably will make official. What do you think here, Jim? Where is it right now? Let me see. The Nets game, where is it? I can't even find it. Is it off the board or something?
No, the total right now in this one is
213. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do then. But I like the under at
that just dropped 5 minutes ago.
Wow. There you go. Should have given it out earlier.
This was 215.5. This was, this was 216.5 when our show started.
Great.
So we've had a huge move towards the under. All these spots moving towards the under. From a spread perspective, you have Philadelphia minus 2.5 at the opener. And right now, Philadelphia is +1. Brooklyn's gone from +2.5 to a -1 point favorite. A huge move. BJ saying something's up, and it's Maxey. We talked about it. Maxey is out with the concussion, will not be available this evening. So that is the big move. Maxey, of course, Embiid, Melton out, Covington out, Payne a game-time decision. So now Kyle Lowry and Buddy Hield, Oubre, Harris, and Mo Bamba's been starting of late. And then, Simmons with a mistake, and Cam Thomas also out. So Cam Thomas missed 4 straight games at this point. So that's the situation. Maxey ruled out. The Sixers coming off their second straight win, 120-116 at Dallas on Sunday. They're 3-3 post All-Star break, 26th fastest pace, just tiny bit slower than Brooklyn, who are 3-4. So consecutive victories for just the second time since losing Embiid. Embiid hasn't played since January 30th at this point. Sixers are 6-8 without him, but they're 5-4 over their last 9. They lost 4 straight February 3rd to 9th. They've been a little better. And Tobias Harris has been much better. 28 points at Dallas, got 31 in Charlotte. He's starting to play much, much better. 24-38 from the field. Remember, he was 21-67 from the field in the 5 games previous to that. And Maxey went for 24 against the Mavericks. I mean, he's averaging 27.2 points per game since in the 13 games that Embiid's been out. So now Lowry and Bamba in the starting lineup. Batum, Reed, and Oubre on the bench. That bench looked really strong against the Mavs. The Nets are on the second half back-to-back after having their 2-game winning streak snapped an ugly 106-102 loss at home to Memphis last night. And no Cam Thomas. And then the problem is with Mikal Bridges, what the hell are you going to get? He puts up 38 points on Saturday, puts up 14 against the Grizzlies. What the hell are you going to get? Now, BJ says Nets still lose. You're asking now. The last time when Maxey went out and the Sixers looked so bad, they didn't have Kyle Lowry at the time. But are we asking too much from Kyle Lowry? From a cash flow perspective here, we have 92% of the tickets on the Sixers. We don't have any cash. We don't have any cash amount. 96% of tickets on the money line. 92% of tickets on the under, 43% cash on the under. What a mess without Maxey. Billy Briz says, is this not the most rigged line movement of the day? Everybody slams Philly -3. Now it's +1.5. Wine Time says Bridges hurt his thumb in the third last night. His shot was off the rest of the game, but he isn't even on the injury report. What an absolute mess. Wine Time says the under is also a great spot. How's Philly going to be able to even score 100? Wow, how are they going to even score 100? That's an interesting point. What do you think here, Pete, with the huge move towards the Nets with Maxey being out?
I don't know. I hit the under. It's 213. People are still liking the under even at 213, I guess.
I guess so. 213.5 for me. Smoking Tree giving us a max bet will help us roll into the next spot on the board. But this is going to take more time for me to sit with Maxey not being available. But I can understand the under. I just hate being late to the party.
Yeah, I hear you. I might throw it on anyway. I'll decide at the end of the show. But those are the 3 unders that I hit last night.
Troy Torrance says Nets only -1 with Sixers versus Sixers without Maxey and Embiid. Look, if the Nets were coming off, those wins over Atlanta, I would be with you. I'd be waiting for this line to go a little bit deeper, and I'd move on Philadelphia. But they're coming off an absolute debacle, at home to the Grizzlies, which makes me not want to fade them. But I'm comfortable staying off. So let's roll on to the next ball on the board.
All right, next one is Detroit-Miami. That's another under that I hit. This is the one that didn't move. This is probably the one I shouldn't give, but it's probably the one that I will give. And Detroit, of course, going under. Not a terrible ATS team as a dog, getting some covers here and there. Miami win last game, but too big of a fave. But they were a covering machine for a while. They got all those guys out. Hit the under. Lean Detroit. Probably will give the under again. And in fact, I will. What the hell? I probably should only give the others, but 217.5 minus 105. I'll make it official.
Loshak is on the under 217.5 minus 105.
Yes.
Detroit, Miami here is our next ball on the board. Detroit opening up plus 11.5 minus 104. They're plus 11.5 minus 106. So we've had no movement from the total side of things. Detroit sitting at, or this one sitting at 217.5 minus 107 at Pinnacle. It opened up at 217, so we've got half-point move towards the over. When we get to the cash flow then for this one, we have, where is it? Here, the Pistons. We have 33% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on the Pistons, 56 and 52 on the under. Detroit 1-5 post All-Star break, Heat 4-1. And again, all these teams playing very similar pace. Detroit 97.67 possessions game slow, 96.60 for Miami. I mean, imagine 97.67 possessions a game being 15th fastest in the league is goes to show you how slow the pace has become across the league. My dude says Isaiah Stewart since back for Detroit has been getting no respect from the books. Him to get 5 rebounds is fire today, says my dude. Robert Franklin on Detroit team total under. And Piker saying Pistons are an against the spread bet on team right now. Lean Pistons for sure. Coming off their second straight loss, 113-91 at Orlando on Sunday. The Heat came back from their road trip with a 126-120 win over Utah on Saturday night. They're 10-13 over the past 13 games. That was a bad spot for them coming home. But Butler and Bam combined for 60. Which was very impressive. Hero missed the Utah game. He's listed as questionable right now. Let's see if we can get the last look at Hero. Hero's out. So Hero out, Jay Rich out, Kev Love out. So out. Detroit, 5 starters, all former first rounders, are 22 or younger. Cunningham, Stewart, Duran, Ivy, and Thompson. The question is, are they going to be ready to roll? Are they going to be, did they go out in Miami? I mean, they're coming off a real ugly performance Sunday. So can they be counted upon early? So Billy Bear says, when's Miami being double digits faves ever this season? I guess I'm interested in the Pistons. Ugh, I hate saying that out loud. Pete, you're on the under 217.5 minus 105. Do you have any lean on the
Sure.
Do you have any lean on the spread?
Lean Pistons for sure, but
and if you were to back the Pistons, would you be looking early or would you be looking full game?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd split it.
I'm interested in joining you with the Pistons. Okay. Rude Boy saying Thomas out for the next game. Yeah, we talked about it. Says still looks good for the Sixers. And Piker saying Detroit against spread dominant versus Miami historically as well. 7-2-1 over their last 10. Okay, I'm very interested in the Pistons. Whether that I want to move on that early or full game, I'm not sure yet. I guess I'm kind of leaning towards full game. Okay, Pete, let's roll on. Hawks Knicks next up.
Yeah, there's another one. Slight lean under 217, and now it's down to 215. I know Jalen Brunson is banged up. I'm assuming he's going to be out. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming that he is. And I don't know. Although maybe the line moving, I don't know what the line tells us about Brunson. But I like the under 217, not quite as much as the others. Now it's down to 215. But free play, I'd throw it on the under.
I mean, I think it's fair to assume that Brunson will not be in the lineup. I mean, Hibbs will just get destroyed if he breaks him down here. You already have Anunoby, Randall, and Robinson, out for extended period. I'd be shocked. The Hawks open up plus 2.5. They're now plus 3. That is quite juiced towards Atlanta at this point. From a total side of things here, you have the 215. This opened up at 216.5, now down to 215, so move to the under. When we get to the cash flow here, we have the 50-50, but 62% of the cash on the Knicks, 90% of the cash on the under. Rude Boy looking at Detroit first quarter. I have some interest there here. My dude loving Scary Terry to get 16 points here. So, and DC Capper liking your under, says this could be a big day for unders. Billy Briz has Josh Hart hitting the dagger 3-pointer and then pulls up on D Mitch and flicks it up as my favorite moment of the year so far. Wow. So Atlanta has been in New York now for a while and has just been embarrassed and embarrassed only. Does that mean that without Trey that they can't win on the road, or they should just be back at home, or that they're not going to embarrass themselves yet again? New York's playing at a very slow pace, 92.83 possessions a game. That's slowest in the NBA. Hawks come in off the back-to-back losses on the Nets. I mean, they looked awful on Thursday. They looked awful on Saturday. So they rolled into New York on Wednesday. This is their sixth night in New York. Are they just going to come in here and just lay egg after egg after egg? I find it hard to not to believe this team has no heart whatsoever. DeJounte is trying. I mean, he went for 20, 11, and 6 in the loss on Saturday. He went for 28 in the loss on Thursday. The Knicks snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 107-98 win at the Cavs on Sunday. And yes, Brunson is listed as questionable, but I don't know how he plays. Dante and Josh Hart have stepped up. I mean, do we really think this Hawks team is just... we backed them. We all got paid with them at home. They're just going to be horrific. I'm pretty lucky that after getting, just very intoxicated on our horse racing show, that I took it easy and didn't, because I would have moved. I had my NHL set up and I was very confident in those looks, but I would have expected the Hawks to bounce back after that loss on Thursday. Nate Dogg on the Knicks -3.5. My dude says the Hawks play no defense. I mean, so do you think there's no fight in this Hawks team? They're just going to lose by double digits to the Nets back-to-back and then lose to the Knicks without OG and Brunson and Randall? Is that a possible? I mean, I know it's possible. Do you have any interest in the side here, Pete?
No. Mike chuck on the total, though, by the end of the show, though.
How the Hawks play this horrible? Okay, I'm interested in the Hawks.
All right, I'll take the under. 215 minus 107. Sure.
Loshak's on the under.
Take it
215 minus 107. All right, let's roll on, Pete. Pelicanos, Raptors.
Okay, hold on. Let me find my thing here. All right, the Pels and the Raps. Pels split that home and home with Indiana. I did have the Pels. Troy Torrance and a bunch of other people put me on the Pels, so I hit that. There, I've got a bunch of unders. Raps a bunch of 3 straight home ATS losses, and this one I'm thinking Raps in the under at 7.5 and 229. Let's see where the lines are right now. I didn't bet it though. I like the Raps at 7.5. Now it's 9.5. Glad I didn't bet it. And 229 still where it is. So I'll probably pass here. At 7.5, 229, I was leaning Raps on the under.
I don't. If anybody's watching the Raps play, I don't know how anybody want anything to do with them. No Scotty Barnes, no Pirtle. It's just they look awful, and now they're flying up and down the floor. They're third fastest pace in the league, which really seemingly came out of nowhere. I know IQ wants to play really fast, but God, no Pirtle, no Scotty Barnes. What a mess. Not a fun basketball team to watch flying up and down the court. Agbaji at the 3. Man. Now Olnick has been given the extension. I mean, I guess I like that, but you also have Bruce Brown out as well. I mean, it's just horrific. So we've had a huge move towards the Pelicans from 7.5 to 9.5. From a total side of things here, we are dealing with a 229. This opened up at 229. It dropped. It's back. The Pelicans coming off their second win in 3 games, 129-102 at home over Indiana on Friday. We were all on the Pelicans to bounce back after getting destroyed that first meeting against the Patriots, the first of the home and home. The Raptors snapped their 2-game losing streak with 111-106 win at home over Charlotte on Sunday. It was horrible. I mean, it's IQ looked great, 22-11-7, but Troy says he's never seen such favorable trends for the under. Parlay that with the Pelicans extended rest before and after this game. Just everything is under, it says. I mean, Joe, you're saying Jay Money as the Raptors team total under?
That settles it for me, and I would never just blindly tail someone like Troy Torrance and then add it to my record as though I did it. But if it was the way that I was leaning anyway, and then I see something like that for him, then I'm happy to add it to my record because I was already leaning that anyway. So I'll make that official. Under 229 minus 110. Official play, Jimmy the Bag.
Let's grab that for you. You want the under
229 minus 110. Current line Pinnacle. We're just using Pinnacle lines here.
Well, I'm interested in backing the Pelicans early. I just don't see how they don't fire off. I don't, Valanciunas was such a big part of our community, and I don't see how they don't just smash and grab right off the hop here. First quarter, first half. Maybe it's gone too far. What did the cash flow? Sorry, let me just go back to the cash flow again. The cash flow had maybe I didn't even say it. Is that it? The cash flow for this one, 71% of the tickets and 93% cash on the Pelicans, line moving briskly. 34% of the tickets, 81% cash on the over. But wow. Troy Torrance also looking at Raptors team total under. I would prefer a first half under because, what if this goes too far? Okay, I'm going to take a long look at your under as well. I'm going to sit with this. Look, Troy Torrance looking at the alt under at 221.5. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna be involved in this basketball game tonight. I just need to sit with all this information. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board: Spurs Rockets.
Okay, Spurs Rockets. Here's another one where I have some leans. I'm probably not going to make it official unless someone in the comment section, who I respect, tells me they like it. The Spurs. I don't know, man. 2 straight home wins as a home dog, right? 5-1 ATS last 6. I don't know, man. Maybe the Spurs now playing well with Wemby. Maybe Spurs first half. That's what I was thinking about. Spurs first half. Houston split 2 games with Phoenix, but they covered both of those. Actually, even if I don't see anyone in the comment, if I see someone loving Houston, I won't take it. But I'm going to give Spurs first half unless I see someone tell me not to. Oh wow! Now it's up to 8. Holy shit! All right, okay.
Let's break this down. Okay, sorry. I just got a message about picking up Ella, and I accidentally replied to Wine Time Sports as if he was my wife. I apologize for that message, Wine Time. Okay, let's roll here. So sorry, I was kind of stuck in something there, Pete. You were leaning towards moving on.
Yeah, but that was when I saw it at 6. Now it's 8, so now I don't know what to think.
This total sitting at 228. Back at 228. It went down for a little bit, but it's right back. Then from a spread scenario, we are sitting with Houston at 8, as was mentioned. This opened up at Pinnacle at 7. So it's now a 1-point move towards the Rockets. Cash-wise here, we have 75% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the Rockets. I mean, this is a very similar situation to the Pelicans. Market moving in both directions. The market moving towards the big favorite in both situations with a ton of cash on them. 86% of tickets, 95% cash on the under. And then, both teams 2-4 since the break. Both teams are playing at a very brisk pace. San Antonio, 5th fastest in the league, 102.67 possessions a game. Houston, 104.42 possessions a game. That's 2nd fastest. Spurs coming off their 2nd straight win, 117-105 at home over the Pacers on Sunday. Wemby just monster game after monster game. Western Conference Rookie of the Month for February. Went for 21.3 points, 10.7 boards, 4.5 assists, 3.9 blocks. Against the Thunder, he went for 31, 12, 6, and 6. I mean, he's just rolling. He followed that up with 28, 13, and 7 and 5. I mean, the guy's just a monster. Rockets snapped their 3-game losing streak with 118-109 win at Phoenix on Saturday. 3-7 over the past 10. 6 games out of a final spot in the Western Conference. I can understand why you found the Spurs appealing, and I can understand why you'd be very concerned with this huge market move towards Houston. DC Capper not concerned, but I am. My dude says Van Fleet being on fire. Love Van Fleet to get 13 all day. I don't want to back either of these teams in this situation here. I don't feel comfortable at all with it. So I'm ready to move on to the next game. But Piker, though, by the way, Piker saying Wemby pops. Piker saying no one in Houston is able to slow down Wemby. I mean, we watched Sengun. Yeah. Sengun looked horrible at that. Sengun couldn't handle Nurkic. I mean, all right, let's roll on.
Okay, Pacers Dallas. The Pacers, lost to the Spurs as a favorite, as a pretty significant favorite in their last game. Those were two pretty crappy road ATS performances by the Pacers, and in general, they have been kind of crappy ATS for a while now. And then the Mavs, they lost outright to Philly as a big home favorite. Game before that, they got blown out by Boston, which I guess is forgivable. I really have nothing on this one. I really just have no idea. Pass for me.
Well, let's set this one up here. We also have Smoking Tree. Scotty Rock's max play today is the over 246.5.
Yeah.
This one.
That's what I was thinking.
It's now at 247 at Pinnacle, so we've gone up 1.5 points since the opener. From a spread perspective on this one, we are dealing with a 4.5, Dallas 4.5 point favorites. That's where it opened. There's been no movement. It's 1 cent of movement. Then from a cash flow standpoint here, you have 80% of the tickets on the Mavericks and no help with the cash flow. 90 and 92 on the under, and it's climbing. Very, very confusing market. The Pacers playing with the 6th fastest pace in the league, 102.50 possessions a game. Dallas 2-4 playing at 10th fastest pace in the league, 100.67 possessions a game. Pacers coming up their second straight loss, 117-105 at the Spurs on Sunday. What's going on with Tyrese Halliburton? 26.5% from the field over his last 4 games, averaging 9.5 points per game. It's very strange. And then, the Mavericks just don't look good. Both these teams are sitting here in bounce back spots. So who do you trust to bounce back? Fanatical Jim says that Halliburton does not look healthy. And there it is. North End says both teams looking to bounce back. Tricky game. I mean, both teams basically bouncing back. So if you expect both teams to bounce back, maybe Scotty Rock's on the right track with that over. But I do not feel comfortable here. I do not feel comfortable expecting Tyrese to step up. I don't feel comfortable expecting the Pacers not to step up. Robert Franklin on the Mavs minus 4.5, but this doesn't work for me. Kong's Clips on the triple-double. I'm ready to move on to the final spot on the board, Pete.
Okay, Phoenix and Denver. Denver, a pretty sizable favorite here. Phoenix, not doing well ATS over the past week or two. Before that, they were rolling, of course, but recently really tailed off. Denver, off a nice win against the Lakers. That was a game where I hit the under, and then because of the line movement, I was like, whoa, someone knows something, and I hedged the hell out of that and took the over, thankfully. But before that, they had a bunch of underlooking games. Again, I don't really know what to make of this. I would be thinking maybe under, but pass again. And I guess lean Denver. Gotta lean Denver. How can you not? How can you be anything but leaning Denver? It just seems a little too obvious.
Yeah, with Booker now out of the lineup as well, and Nurkic coming off 31 rebounds. You know what'll slow down your statistical prowess is going up against Jokic. Phoenix 2-4 over their past 6 games, 8th fastest pace in the league, 102.08 possessions a game. Denver 6-0. They look so good. I mean, I've wanted to make the Oklahoma City Thunder future all year, but who can beat the Nuggets?
No.
Let's get into the line history here. This is the final game on the board. Denver sitting minus 9.5 and minus 107. They open up at minus 9, a half-point move towards them. Then from a total standpoint, sitting at 223.5. This opened up. Sorry, I got the bet online opener. This opened up at 222.5, 1 point move to the over. And then cash flow here, we have 55% of the tickets and 92% of the cash on the Denver Nuggets. 86 and 95 on the under. My dude says Beal at Denver averages over 20 points a game. Suns come in off their second straight loss, 118-110 at home to Thunder on Sunday. Nurkic 31 boards. Beal now in with Booker out. Nuggets coming off their 6th straight win, 124-114 at the Lakers on Saturday. Jamal Murray was questionable play, and he was 24 and 11. He's just a Laker killer, and he's going to be available. He's fine to go here. I think right from the get-go, and I'd prefer a first half look too, but I think right from the get-go, there's a message sent to Nurkic. Remember, these two guys were on the same team, and there was some surprise that Nurkic was ditched at the time. Now it's the easiest move in the history of moves, but I think that Jokic likes to send a message to these other centers. And here you have a center coming in after the greatest rebounding performance in 14 years. Billy Frieder says Denver wins this easily. Piker says feel like a sharp play to the over here, and smoking tree liking first half Nuggets. PJ says Suns suck. I mean, how do you not like the Jokic message? I like the Jokic message. I
don't usually tell people like BJ when they give those opinions like Suns suck, but if I was already leaning that way and then I see someone like BJ say Suns suck, then it sort of seals it for me. So I'll take this one. I'll take Denver, and you know what? I'll double up. I got a lot of plays. I'll take them first half and full game. I think that BJ is right. I think they suck, and I'll take them first half and full game. And I'm going to shop around for some lines here, Jim.
Okay, I was interested in backing them early, but do I really want to double up on these spots? I don't know if I need to. Rude Boy liking the Suns first quarter. I'm thinking maybe just a first half spot for me. I'd prefer not to double up on these spots.
I'm looking around. I'm seeing Pinnacle Heritage. I'll take the 9. 9 minus 118. Denver minus 9 minus 118. And I will shop around for a first half line as well.
All right. And then I'm interested in being a part of this, but it'll just be, one unit. I'm not going to double up here.
I'll take the Pinnacle line. What the hell? I'll take 5.5 minus 109 for the first half.
5.5 and minus 109. That, my friends, is
sorry. Heritage is 108. I'll take that one. 5.5 minus 108. Minus 108. Thank you. Sorry, Jim.
No problem. Let's review all NBA action here. And Pete, I know this show has gone very long, 3 hours, so you don't need to stay for the horse race. We can handle that. You can bounce off to your spot. But let's review all NBA action. And then I'll review Pete's entire card except for his NHL, which I won't be able to give the full review. Maybe we should get your review of NHL very quickly, if you don't mind. What do you think, Pete? How do you want to handle it?
I kind of got a jet, but I don't know.
Have you emailed it to me already? If you've emailed it to me,
no, I haven't. I'll email it to you very soon.
Okay, cool. Okay, then I'll do it. I'll do it after the horses. I'll remind the action.
All right, I can email it to you now. Do you want me to email it, or do you want me to DM you on Twitter?
Either way is fine.
Okay, I'll do it on Twitter.
Okay, cool. Okay, Magic Hornets, no action. I want to know what's going on with Celtics injury stuff. I would prefer everybody in and then back in Cleveland early at a better number, honestly. So we'll see. And by everyone in, I don't mean anyone on the Cavs. We know those guys. We know Spider's out. I'm not talking that. I'm talking that the KP and Jaylen Brown questionable stuff. I would like to fade a team early after they show one of the most dominant performances in the history of our sport, basically. Sixers.
Hey, Jim?
Yeah.
When I email you this, there's some horrific misspellings with my typing. You'll know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I imagine so.
Okay, good.
Sixers, right. Nets, we are off. Loshak's on the under 217.5 in Pistons heat. Now, Loshak hammered a bunch of these unders. It's just the lines moved so much that he's not giving it out. I'm interested in the Pistons. I've got to decide whether I want to go early or late. I'll figure that out. Then Loshak's on the under 215 in Atlanta, New York. I'm very interested in the Hawks, but I want more time with it. Loshak's on the under 229 in Pelicans, Raptors. I'm on the Pelicans early. I think they show out. Spurs, Rocket. I just don't want to I don't want to triple up here, and I don't want to cut my unit size down to do that. Spurs, Rockets, no action for us. Scotty Rock, max bet is Indiana, Dallas over 246.5. I'm off that spot. Loshak is on the Nuggets first half, minus 5.5, full game, minus 9. I'm interested in also being on the Nuggets. And there we go. That is our NBA. I will review all the college basketball and the NHL here as well, but it's horse race time. And Pete, we've had a 3-hour show, so thank you for rolling with us. We're going to move the horse race from Tuesdays because these shows go so long. So we're going to move the horse race. So we're going to go back to Wednesday and Friday horse races here, or maybe Thursday, Friday. We'll see what Jose wants to do, but we're going to move it off of Tuesdays moving forward. Piker says Pistons strong lean. He's on Wendell Carter Jr. over points, rebounds over 19.5. Celtics team total over 111.5. Pete, my friend, excellent work. And you gave us the best bet already for Chang. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show, my friend?
I absolutely do. This show, at least from my end, is dedicated to Troy Hermo, who's really inspiring a lot of people. Great guy on Twitter. I mean, he's struggling, at the end of life, but just fighting in such an inspirational way, putting up his friggin' props sheets every day, inspired me to look into props. And now look what I'm doing, Jimmy the Bag. He just posted a message today that was very nice to read. Do you mind if I read his message, Jimmy the Bag?
Oh, no, I'd love that.
Okay, so here, this is from where the hell is it? I thought I screenshotted it, but right. Let me just go back. I want to dedicate this show, at least my section of it, to Troy Hermo. Great to hear. He says, where is it? Where Doc loves my labs today. Swelling is down. Gonna be a good day. Great to hear, Troy Hermo. We're all supporting you. You're an inspiration to me personally, and many, many other people talking about it on Twitter. Hope you have a very nice day, Troy Hermo. And it's so great to see your prop sheets every day. You've inspired me to look into props, and now I'm really in a new phase of sports betting. It's fun as hell. This show is dedicated to you, Troy Hermo, and that's about it.
That's beautiful. There he is, Pistol Pete Loshak here, dedicating the show to Troy Hermo and Jose, Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right. Just trying to earn my man card every day, building shit. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. I don't believe in your man card, and I'm okay.
Yeah, it might be fake. Who knows? There's some forgery in there. But it's not forged. These fucking races. These fucking races are always electric, always on the up and up. I can't believe people ask me, who decides who wins? How decides? The faster horse decides who wins, Jimmy. It's fucking shocking.
Yes, it is. It is a lot of fun. And we're going to be doing this heavy down in San Antonio. For better or for worse, it's going to be fun. We're going to do some heats and have some fun with it. But here we go. We have a 2-minute race. I'd like to, if we have a small enough schedule on Friday, to go back into the heats. I think the heats are a lot of fun. But here for the gold members, we'll have Jose Bouquet call the first minute of the horse race, and then I will come in and call the final minute. Thank you to all of the gold members. It means a ton to us. How many do we have?
61. Shout out to the 61 gold members.
I love it. Kelly McInnes wants to put his horse on waivers. Says we'll take a bag of pucks. Right now, Kelly, you got to get your horse home. So Jose, my friend, good luck, everybody. $50 American to the winner. Take us home, baby. Take us home.
Yep. Shout out to everyone. Thanks as always, everyone, for being a member. Let's shuffle up these horses real quick. 1-2 times. Make sure we're ready to go. And just like always, the sun is shining. It's 7 degrees over at PSR Gold Raceway.
Beautiful.
And we're off and racing. Here we go. Exciting stuff. I can't wait to do these races at the apartment and get noise complaints they'll be like, is there a horse on the second floor? What is going on in there? Here we go. Joey Harb in the lead. Oh,
too early,
but James the Bag in the front here as well. Sam Colmer, Sharon Pullian, but Ian Shaber. And look, there's Nasty Nate's horse blowing his load. Tehran in here as well. He wants some action here. Vincent Ramirez, Big Show Picks making a move. Rude Boy making a move.
Rude Boy making a big move.
A lot of horses blowing their loads early here today. Let's see if they can last the full test of 2 minutes. Remember, Pub Sports Radio, Pubapalooza in just 15 days, I think. Good God, Jimmy. I'm going to see you in 15 days.
I'm pumped up. We have a huge move by Dutch Boy Fresh on the outside. Dutch Boy Fresh making a giant move to the front. The question is it too early? Blowing past everybody and finding the lead, but the race does not end. And now he's moving backwards. Now he is breakdancing backwards. And that will be the last we see of Dutch Boy Fresh. Smoke and mirrors. We got Smoke making a move here on the inside. Love to see it. Gerald Jones and Subhuman Gaucho also. And here comes Rez Mob. Mob making a move to the front. The question is that too early of a big move? Because here comes Jeff Slaughter. Will there be a $100 race? Because if Slaughter wins it, or if I win it, or if Preston wins it, we carry it over. We are moving into the finish. And there's Kenny Ken making a big. Here comes Big D. And Dutch Boy Fresh is back. Dutch Boy Fresh is back, trying to get to the finish. And there's Nasty Nate and Juan Ruiz. Is Juan Ruiz going to get his second victory? He does.
Wow.
Juan Ruiz is now a 2-time champion.
Wow.
We have 2, and Jeff Slaughter came second, so close for the $100 carryover. It looks like Nasty Nate was ahead of Jeff Slaughter, but that was after the finish line. Fat Wally in 4th, Joseph Thompson in 5th. Juan Ruiz, our winner, and God, that just ripping the beating heart out of Nasty Nate's chest.
That's tough. Yeah, I thought Nasty Nate was making the push there for glory. Yeah. Only 3rd place, and that gets you zilch in this race.
That picks you up $0. Picks you up $0.
But we will shout out our person in last place who still gets $0.
Yeah, $0 at this point.
Shout you out, Ricky Levine.
Ricky! All right. Wow, that was a very, very exciting. I'm surprised, Dutch Boy. That's the first time we've seen 2 pushes by horse. So
well,
we know it's
different jockeys. Sometimes the horse got a little more in them.
We know it's possible. Wow, it looked like it was fine. Looked like we were finally going to hear nice things about Nasty Nate's horse, but nay to the Bob, man. Bob to the nay. There you go. $50 richer for Juan Ruiz. He's now up. He's now $100 he's made off being a gold member.
Just Yankee that easy.
Franks. Yankee Franks
that
too.
Easy.
Yeah. Very, very, very impressive. The best bet look to Chang Kim was Illinois and the Islanders, but it could have been Illinois and the Oilers. Illinois from Pistol Pete, Islanders from me. And let's review all action here. The Pig Milk play of the day, South Florida -7.5. Pig Milk 7-1 plus 5.92 units, going for 5 in a row. And Smooth Ball's also on South Florida -6.5, which is wild because I was interested in the other side. Does South Florida have a reason to go all out here? Because Tulane does, but Justin McKelvey, Kansas -10.5 is the stacks play of the day from our Justin McKelvey. Viper NB is on Pittsburgh puck line. Islanders -1. Nashville puck line. I wonder if I should move on Nashville. Ingram over 21.5 points. BI and Banchero over 21.5 points. BJ's best bet was 76ers money line. Now that was before. He's still okay with it, but that was before Maxey was pulled. Lucas Ryan saying, let's go Blues. Blues took good care of me last night, my man, and I got in on live plus 230. That Bucci shootout goal made me very pleased. Now let's review Pete's action. Now, let me ask you this, Jose. Pete, now with this new plan, what do you expect will be his success rate here with these props? Do you think that we're going to talk about him in the black after, because he's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 23. He's got 24. He's got 28 player props in NHL this evening. I wish that Jose was thinking. I wish I could tell you Jose's thinking. He's doing numbers in his head. Unfortunately, that's not Jose thinking. So let's pull him. Or we could just leave him there and act as if he's thinking. Or we could ask him questions like, Jose. Oh, damn. Okay. He just got me. I had the perfect question, but it was probably good. It was a question that probably would have lost us. Not only viewers, but probably subscribers, because I was going to ask him a horrifying question that he was not going to be able to answer. This is Pete's player prop action. Jack Hughes over 4.5 shots. Hischier over 3.5 shots. Toffoli under 3.5 shots. Barkov under 2.5 shots. Jesper Bratt under 3.5 shots. And Brandon Montour point. Boone Jenner over 2.5 shots. McDavid an assist. That was -203, by the way. a minus 203. Oh, look who's back.
Yeah. I guess my Wi-Fi went down, so now I'm on my phone. That's great. It was great timing. Yeah, Pete
with a minus 203 player prop on McDavid assist.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Minus 203.
I heard the minus 205 for McDavid assist. I didn't say anything. I didn't know if he was going to make it official, but that's good. That is good.
Yeah. Oh, he made it official. He's also on Edmonton first period minus 118. Then in the Islanders Blues game, he's on Noah Dobson under 2.5 shots, Rob Thomas in assist, Kyrou under 2.5 shots, Brock Nelson over 3.5 shots in the Islanders minus 1. In the Habs game, he's on Caulfield over 3.5 shots, Forsberg over 3.5 shots, Nick Suzuki goal, Roman Josi assist, Nick Suzuki over 2.5 shots and over 6. Morrissey assist in the Jets game, Monahan goal, Kyle Connor under 2.5 shots, Eberle over 2.5 shots, Winnipeg minus 1. This will be great fun for me tracking this. Lawson Krause over 2.5 shots plus 123. Dylan Gunther point at minus 122. JT Miller over 2.5 shots. Vancouver, LA first period under 1.5. Heiskanen over 2.5 shots. Thomas Harley over 2.5 shots. Matt Duchesne point. Anthony Declare goal. And that is his NHL. So that is Pistol Pete's NHL.
Has Pete ever done this with you? Like just deep into props?
That would be a no. So, Jose, what is your prediction? Is he in the black in these NHL props come next Tuesday?
Oh, no, not the first week. No, not the first week. The first week he's going to take a bath, and then from then on he'll get better.
A question from DC, what's your best bet in hockey? Honestly, I love my card, and I'm going to add the under 6 in the Kings-Canucks game. But I can't. I'm having a difficult time deciding if the Oilers minus 1 or the Islanders minus 1 is the best bet. I guess I slightly lean to the Islanders minus 1, slightly, maybe by the tiniest bit. Oilers minus 1 at plus 136. Islanders minus 1 at minus 106. Then I do have some interest in the Predators on puck line. I don't know if I get there. Jets minus 1 at minus 103. And then I'm going to be adding the under 6. I haven't bet that yet. Then here we go, college basketball. And I'm going to have to sit here with Loshak first half under 61 minus 114. Holy Cross first half plus 3.5. I want to join him on Holy Cross. Loshak first half under 68.5 in Coastal UL Monroe. I'm going to be moving on Coastal. Loyola Navy, no action. IUPUI, Cleveland State, no action. I'm going to be on Robert Morris first half and Eastern Kentucky first half. Loshak's on the first half under 76 and the full game under 159.5 in Queen Stetson. I have interest in Stetson, but that's got question marks. Loshak's on Illinois first half and full game. We have BJ's best bet on Illinois full game. I'm going to be on Illinois full game. Notre Dame, North Carolina, Alabama, Florida, no action. Pete's on the under 157 in Tulane, South Florida. And look, I don't want to go up against Smooth Balls and Billy Friedrich, so I guess I got to cut Tulane for my action. Loshak's on the first half under 72.5 in Detroit, Milwaukee. North Florida, I will be on. North Alabama, I don't know if I get there, but I'd like to be on them. But I do have question marks on that one. I have question marks on ODU. You have 5 different guys tell me they're on Texas State. No one said they're on ODU. Lines with 1.5 to ODU. Who the hell in the world would bet ODU? With all that being said, that is an appealing angle. First half, full game under 149 for Pete in Auburn, Missouri. He's also on Missouri first half plus 7. I'm going to be on that first half. I'll probably get the 6.5. I'm not sure if the 7 will be available. Kansas first half interests me, but question marks. And I'm going to have a ton of actions, so maybe do I cut? Loshak's on the under 151 in Dayton, St. Louis, and St. Louis first half plus 6. Loshak's on UNLV first half plus 0.5. And he added Akron first half, Western Michigan minus 1.5, Georgia first half minus 1, Harvard, Dartmouth first half over 64, Oklahoma State first half plus 1, and the full game plus 2.5. And we've already reviewed NBA. So that is our show for today.
That's it. By the way, Jimmy, I realized something this morning. I sent you a lovely picture of you and Pete. You didn't use it.
I did not use it. That is true. Do you want to show
here? This one right here for those who are wondering.
Yeah, I did not use it. No. And it's not that I disliked it. I just I don't know. What do you guys in the chat think?
I think people would have been immediately interested, I'd even say.
Well, let's hear from the cappers in the chat here.
Maybe they would have said that the show would have become Oil of Olay for them. Who knows? Maybe that's just graphic.
So I decided not to use it. That's right.
That's fair. That's fair.
Subhuman Gaucho approves of the photo. Remo says, well, if I wasn't gay, I am now. That's what Remo says. So
fair. Rem also commented on my background. I appreciate you, Rem. Hopefully this is the last time I'm doing a show in this very room. We'll see.
But yes, I did not use that as a promo shot. But keep them coming.
Was it the V-neck?
It was the V-neck, yeah. Just the V-neck. Yeah.
It was just the V-neck.
And we have our guy Kong's Clips Friends, his GoFundMe right there. If you can help out, it would mean a lot. We love you, Kong, and so sorry to hear about your friend, man. And Kong's Clips says, thanks to anyone who has a chance to donate to the GoFundMe. Really appreciate you all. All right, that is our show for today. The amount of work that needs to be done is just so vast. It's just so vast. I got to get to work right now.
It's like vats of lube that Fat has. So it's that vast quantity of work that needs to be done.
Yeah, no. Well, I guess well put. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was a perfect analogy, but it's an analogy we'll close the show with. Thank you guys so much in the chat. Kong's Clips, Mikey Money, Kelly McInnes, North Ender, Piker, Subhuman Gaucho, Rem Mose, Justin McKelvey, Nunya, Kelly McInnes, JPZ, Jason Meyer. Thank you for the dono, Jason Meyer, Eldorado Custodian, Coach Minton with his action, Vermont, Lipscomb, Texas State, Wyoming, St. John. So there's another Texas State look. Everybody on Texas State. So thank you guys, Piker, Lucas, Ryan, all you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support, man. Congratulations on Juan Ruiz. Now we have two-time champions, Director 97 and Juan Ruiz. Jose, could you please bless our action and take us into the future?
Yeah, remember, guys, we need it. Especially Jimmy needs it, because if not, he's going to end up in Nova Scotia alone.
No, north. None of it.
None of it.
Going north. Yeah.
Okay, sure. We're going to none of it, and we're going to just start a life of goat farming. So it's imperative that we must win today. So everyone, get your calculators out, get the pencil, get the papers out, write down those bets, and let's fucking cash them today. And only 15 more days until Palooza. We're getting LJ from H-Town and JPZ combinations after the poker tournament. I mean, come on. That's just worth it in itself. So thank you, guys. Let's milk those motherfuckers. Leche, Halos Bookmakers.